it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh. As always, I am joined by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington, our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington, and the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon, the Sandman. Hack, how's it going today?
What up, everybody? What a great day.
Yeah, sorry.
Was that the frog that you apparently were trying to get out of your throat?
I was trying to get a frog out of my throat there, and I messed up the thing there. Hack, I know we all watched Backlash this Saturday. Certainly a jam-packed sports day as well with the Derby, a little UFC fight night as well as the boxing. Backlash, what a crowd that they had in France. Certainly one of the all-time crowds in terms of crowd reactions that I can remember. What is it like for wrestlers going into Europe in an area that has, sometimes they're a little wrestling starved or, WWE starved. When you get to work in front of those European crowds, walk the audience through what that's like.
Well, first of all, you got to understand you're doing a lot of travel, and you might be, when you're doing a European tour for WWE, you could be in probably 12 different cities in 5-6 different countries in less than like a 2-week time period.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's totally insane. And when you're new to the business, like the first time I was in Europe, it was always like, wow, stuff is so small over here. It's really different because everywhere you go, everything's a couple thousand years old.
Yeah.
Was the first time you were in Europe WWE?
Oh, there we go. That's a hack check right there.
Check on that one. I would say no, but
I knew you've been over in Japan.
No, I had been there before.
Yeah.
No, I had definitely been in Europe before.
Okay,
cool.
But yeah, you were saying everything's so small and everything.
Except when you go, if you're in Ireland or Scotland, the rolling hills and the castles and everything. That's totally different. And if you're in Rhine-Main, Germany, it's a totally different atmosphere. I mean, you might be a couple, like 400 or 500 miles away, but it's like a totally different world. Yeah, literally, to some of them.
Is it because you think it's just older? Like it's just older, or do you think it's smaller humans?
Well, everything's built for smaller humans, which is like crazy.
Doesn't go well for wrestlers.
all the bars and stuff. If you're in a bar, like say if you're in here's a hack story. So I'm so excited. March 17th, I set the date aside on my calendar like 5 months ahead. So I'm supposed to be in Ireland for St. Paddy's Day.
Okay.
So I'm telling everybody, dude, I'm going to be in Ireland for St. Paddy's Day. It's going to be the greatest party ever. I get there like, no, dude, you guys screwed this all up making it a drinking day. It's a Catholic like church day. To them, everybody goes to church. There's no job. I'm like, are you kidding me? The only reason I took this tour was to be here. I swear to God, the only reason I took the tour was to be there for St. Paddy's Day.
What year was that, give or take?
Early 2000s.
Okay. But you ever get the chance to work in front of the French crowd? Because they were just incredible.
Yeah, I've been in Cannes. Me and Booker had a great night. I think that was in Cannes. Grenoble. I wrestled in that same tour. I wrestled in Andre the Giant's hometown.
Wow, that's so cool.
That was just so cool to a bunch of us. So we were going out that night. It was me. I don't know who the heck it was. But they were all good-looking guys, dude. They did not let us in any club in Grenoble, France. They like looked at us and they're like, "Nah, you're not allowed in there."
What? They wouldn't let you in?
We couldn't get into any club in Grenoble. Well, Grenoble's not like a huge city anyway. You know what I mean? It's in this like valley among the mountains and stuff. So it's a real tight community there. And the guys are thinking, "Nah, these guys ain't coming in and taking our women."
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what they're
they knew
thinking.
the Chippendale Sandman was coming to town.
Hack Bigelow. European gigolo. Well, Hack, do you think I've also I feel like I've been victimized as being like a taller dude. Do you also think it's because you were a bigger guy? Because I've been in a bar and bouncers immediately size you up when you're like 6'3" about. Like, do you also think that's could be a part of it? Like
earlier in my life, yes, but at that point in my life, I'm not trying. You know what I mean? I have a different mindset there. I know I'm in a different country.
No, but I'm saying their mindset. Could they have saw like six big dudes and been like, we don't want to deal with this?
They're bouncers. Bouncers watch professional wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, hey, dude, there's been, like in Pittsburgh, whenever we used to do, let's call it Shane Douglas's town, you piece of shit. I love it. That's the only wrestler I can actually do an imitation of. I'm so horrible. But the first play, I was the first guy that got us into a club down there, and the bouncers were like, "Yo, is there going to be a problem?" I said, "Dudes, no problem whatsoever." So every time we went into Pittsburgh, it was like once a month. We always went to the same after hours club right down the street. But they were worried. Everywhere you go, people are worried. I mean, you're a bouncer, and you see guys walking like us, you know, you're like, whoa, dude, where you get my ass handed to me here if shit happens?
Yeah. Back to the show, though. I mean, this was just absolutely incredible crowd reactions from start to finish on this show. I mean, it was only a 5-match show, but from the opening match, pretty much one of, I would say, it could even be in the argument of like the best crowd reaction I've ever heard for a wrestling show. They were super into everything, singing, doing all the chants, constantly throughout the show.
Dude, it didn't stop.
None, like at all.
But what it is, it's what it's exactly like. I remember me, Van Dam, Sabu, Rob's wife, SVD then, and it was probably just us four. And we went to a soccer game in Germany. And that crowd, the crowd never shut up. We didn't stay there until after, the first half we were gone. But the crowd is singing, dancing, that's how it is the whole game. So that's kind of like standard for European crowds.
Yeah, I think maybe some of these American crowds are just like stuck on their phones too much, and they're not having fun. They're not like enjoying the event that they're at sometimes. Like,
well, yeah, but you got to think of it. It's soccer. There's like a goal every like 32 minutes. So they're getting drunk, entertaining themselves the whole time. It's just a huge, big party.
Yeah.
I've never seen so much beer drinking by every single person was drinking. It's not like a Phillies game. You got people that aren't, people that are. Everybody was partying.
Yeah, that you could tell.
It was great fun.
They definitely were partying because they were wild and they were awesome from start to finish. The show opened up with the tag team match between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline. I love that as an opener. I thought it was a super awesome match. The crowd heat was amazing. I know it was Tama Tonga's first match in WWE that I can remember. Did he work on SmackDown yet? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't know,
so.
but the kid showed up.
He showed up. He took that amazing fisherman's kind of suplex into the chairs.
And the 6 chair shots on his back.
Which opened him
before
up.
that.
Yeah.
The cane shots on the back. That
Yeah, you
welded
could see him. Yeah,
that kid, it was. I think the other wrestlers.
Breaking him in?
Well, not so much that, but they know that the kid's got to look good. The Samoans know that kid's got to come in and look good.
Right.
He's like, dude, you're getting whipped. You're getting chair-shotted. You're not making my family look good. Which, I'm not saying that exactly happened, but that has to be part of his mindset. That look at the men that have paved the way for you to be there.
Yeah.
So you better want to show up and show out.
Yes, but Solo's not taking those bumps. Solo's supposed to be the new leader of the Bloodline, so Solo's not taking those hits. Solo's not taking those bumps. So, where I agree with you in that, like, he was the bumper in that match, if that makes sense to you. Like, Solo's not taking them.
No, it was I thought it was an awesome match. I mean, they had a great brawl around the arena.
How can you have Randy's in there?
Yeah,
I
your
mean, you got
favorite.
Randy, you got KO. I mean, it can't go wrong.
It really can.
It just can't with Randy out there.
Did you guys get to see on Twitter they had of the finish of Tamalonga coming in for blowing the finish? The crowd was so loud that he missed his time cue for the finish, so the ref had to like kind of pull himself
Is that
out.
why it was like
I
that?
saw the ref
Yeah.
pulling himself out on a different angle. You can't see it on the hard camera
Yeah.
angle. that
Oh, it's
you
like he
show.
holds his hand there,
Yeah.
and then it's like shimmies back.
Yeah.
No, he like flails. He like flails by himself. Like he doesn't even get pulled. Like he knows. So it was a good job by the ref.
And when there was a camera cut there that helped it.
Yeah, no, everything. Look, the finish was great. Obviously, you got to go with the bloodline there. Just keeps the heat going and keeps the angle going. I thought it was a tremendous opener for the show.
All right, so I have to say this. Paul Heyman is going baby, and he's going to be with Punk. Just see Paul Heyman's face at the end when they're all putting up the thing. Paul's like, do I want to be with these dudes? He's like, Paul's hesitant. Paul's
Yeah.
never hesitant.
And he's
ever.
also kind of like shielding KO, like saying like no more, don't beat him up
yeah,
anymore.
that's right.
Yeah,
I
he's
forgot
like,
about
don't
that
beat
part.
him up
Yeah.
anymore, like no more,
Yeah,
no
Paul's,
more.
Paul, he's turning.
No,
And it would make total sense to go with Punk, right?
I think Roman's coming back as baby, and you're going to have Roman, Jay, and Jimmy versus the other
Bloodline.
three.
Solo and the Tonga
I
brothers.
know,
Yeah.
you're blowing a lot of capital on one match there in a pay-per-view. That's a
Bloodline,
lot of talent.
Bloodline Hollywood.
I'm saying building that to next
Makes,
WrestleMania.
makes
Could be.
sense. Yeah.
Little Bloodline Hollywood, Bloodline Wolfpack match.
Well, Roman's definitely not tired.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I'm
he's-
saying?
I thought it was just a hell of an opener for the show.
But you can stretch that till WrestleMania
Easily.
next year.
Oh yeah,
Easy. There's so many Samoans out there now. It's like ridiculous.
yeah. Well, they're gonna have Jacob Fatu is coming
You
in
get a
too.
Samoan, and you get a Samoan, and you get a Samoan.
If you guys
It's
have,
like they're dominating the business right now, utterly and thoroughly, like no other family has ever. Even when you go to the Von Erichs, maybe is the closest thing you could come to a family dominating a territory.
yeah,
Yeah, and you put Jacob Fatu with Solo,
Yeah.
and then
The Gorillas of
the
Destiny.
Rock comes back, and he can be with Roman and them.
Yeah, you,
like
could,
that.
you could do a whole lot there. So there's a lot of runway and future matches that they
I
can
know.
play.
Wow, the rest of the company's got to be like, seriously, I ain't getting a pay-per-view match in the next 6 months. You know what I'm saying, dude? That's how it is.
Well, yeah, I
People
think-
are looking at it. It's like the two new brothers just came in and took 2 spots.
Yeah, it's tough sledding, especially when the pay-per-view cards. I mean, this was a 5-match show. It seems like they're doing shorter cards
Yeah, it seems like that's the norm now.
for WWE.
Okay,
Yeah.
so think about this. You're not Vince McMahon. You're a new company taking over. How many? They just got rid of 10 NXT talent last week. They got rid of 5 WWE talent. They've gotten rid of pretty much anybody in the offices right now. Even to that last lady that they just let go that had been
Yep.
there for 35 years or whatever. There's a new sheriff in town, and they're like, less wrestlers mean more money.
Absolutely. The Endeavor playbook, when they took over UFC, there was guys in UFC, Chuck Liddell and people like that Dana White said they're going to have jobs for life. When you're seeing people on the WWE payroll who were similar to that, like Jerry Lawler, get let go this week, that says a lot to me. That says, hey, whoever you are before, it doesn't matter. This is a new company, and they're going to be looking at the almighty dollar only, So just a little interesting thing for the business there. Next up on the show was Bayley as the champion in the 3-way match with Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Bayley retained here. I thought this match was really good, and it kind of was a big showcase for Tiffany Stratton. I thought that she had a really, really strong performance here, Todd.
It made me feel a lot better about the women's division watching that match. Because you know how the Royal Rumble, how down I was on the
Yes.
women's division and how bad it was. But watching that match, especially the first 5 minutes, all 3 of them are in the ring. They're in the ring the whole time. It's a real 3-way dance going. And obviously it's going to break down into a couple little singles after that. But I was proud of the girls. I think they showed up well.
Yeah, I thought they had a really good match. I especially liked Tiffany Stratton's performance. I know that she's coming along fast. Certainly has to get a lot of things down for her game, but she's just an incredible performer.
Crowd's behind her.
Crowd is really
everywhere.
behind her.
I mean, USA, France, clearly.
Yeah.
Good looking blonde
Tiffy
chick that can
time
work.
and everything. So
Yeah, I mean, she can work. She can do high spots. She can wrestle. I mean,
And she's got all that hair and stuff, but she's got a thicker upper body than you realize.
she used to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah, she's and that's why they put those. They make her outfits so they make it look like she's got an ass. They do the same thing with Jade Cargill. So they put these like a sweatband on around her hip to tighten up their hip to make it look like they got a nicer looking ass. They do it with both the two.
Oh, okay.
But she's got a huge body. That girl, the top of the world is where she's going to end up.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if they're earmarking her for a super push already, or they're going to kind of slow burn it. But I mean, I think that the best is yet to come for her.
And the finish was, and you notice why they put the finish in between the two friends. They kept her out of it. You know what I'm saying? That tells you a little bit of something too. Because you'd have had the two teaming up on her or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah. I thought it was a really
it
strong
was
match.
good. I mean, there was a couple of like little timing things that I saw, but you don't see WWE do 3 ways that often, especially in the women's division. You don't really see it, so I don't know how many times they've actually like done it.
Yeah, no, I really like the match a lot.
They need to do it more.
Oh, I think
agree.
they do too, because it gets more people on the show and it gets some different environment to work in.
And those two girls are two small girls are lost in that giant ring.
Yeah.
To me, the 3 girls fills up the ring a little bit more. If you could keep it like a real 3-way.
Right. Yeah, I certainly enjoyed that one. Next up on the show was Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight title against main event Jey Uso. The reaction that Jey Uso got when he came out was just incredible. The whole crowd was doing the yeet dance thing. Ty, I don't know what you thought of this match. I thought it was really strong, and again, just an awesome kind of crowd reaction.
Yeah, the crowd reaction is just, I mean, we can say that about any match going forward, so that's almost a given at this point. For me, the match was good. It was a good match. I'm just not sold on Priest being a heavyweight champion at all. And not to say that his work it's not his work. It's just something, him coming from the group, the Judgment Day, and then just becoming this champion when he doesn't have a body of work, singles-wise, a lot, doesn't really, like, get me as a champion. And Jay, not to say that he can't be a champion, but I never saw him winning that match, A, and B, I can't see him being a heavyweight champion. So for me, the work was fine. The work was good. They can both work, but I'm just not as invested as I would hope for in like a heavyweight championship match, if that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does. I think Damian Priest, like you were saying, I don't think
Damian's got a problem with his lower body. Like I've been telling people,
It's slow.
yeah, like Chris Jericho put that dude Big Bill with him, right? He put Chris Jericho's smart. He puts that dude in there with a reason, like, let me keep you under my thumb, dude. That's kind of how I see that. But Big Bill's got the same problem. Both of those dudes need to get one of those ladders that people train on, lay it out in their driveway or whatever, and work on your lower half.
Yeah.
Because neither one of those two have the footwork.
Okay. That's certainly a great observation. I'd never noticed that myself, so I'm going to have to take a look at next time I watch.
Yeah, because Priest doesn't look like a natural athlete when you could
Right.
you know what I mean? His bottom half is not there at all. He just does not look like like he could run down the court and dribble a basketball. I don't see him being able to do that.
Interesting. Okay. Back to what you were saying, though, Ty, about the Damian Priest. I do agree. I think something's a little bit lacking in terms of the resume for him, in terms of, like, the booking. He hasn't really had that much of, like, a signature win or, like, something to really put him over before he got the belt.
He just hasn't separated himself enough from the group.
Yeah,
I feel
no,
like.
that's true, too. Like
We don't know, like, really who he
They're
is.
setting it up for him
as
to
a
lose
singer.
the belt because of those other two, because he tells them stop interfering, it's going to backfire at some point.
I agree. He's kind of like a setup champion and everything like that, so that's why I can't really like believe in it, because he was in the group. Yeah, he had the money in the briefcase. He was a tag champ, and then he cashes in. He becomes the champ, but not to say that not to say that he didn't earn it, but he didn't earn it.
Yes.
Like, singles-wise.
Yes.
Like, because he was in that group. No fault of his own.
Right.
I'm not saying I don't like his work, but from no
No,
fault
he
of
had
his
the
own.
money in the bank too.
But that's what I'm saying. But they didn't, like... They should have separated him from the group sooner before he did the cash in order to make it a little bit more credible in my eyes.
Yeah, I think something is lacking for him, like I was saying about his resume, and I'm not really sure what direction they're going. I certainly think Drew Mack and CM Punk. I could see Drew Mack getting that belt shortly, and then going to that as like a big money program for the summer.
Right.
Once Punk's healthy enough to be back, but that's just my prediction. Next up on the show, I'm certainly excited to talk about this one, was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against the Kabuki Warriors. What did you think about this match? Because, look, the crowd was there. I will say they
Jade wasn't there. Everybody else was there except Jade.
So-
it was the worst hot tag I've ever seen in my entire life.
So what happened at the one point in the match when Kairi Sane...
They fucked the spot up.
They totally
and they had
did-
to go back to
and
it.
do it
They
again.
Yep, they fucked the spot up and they had to go back
And
to it.
then Michael Cole's on commentary saying that she didn't tag, and next thing you know, she's going for a count, and then the ref's counting it, which buried the commentary.
It was
I know
a
he was just
straight
trying to
cluster.
cover.
It
I know
was
he
a
was just
straight
trying to
cluster.
cover for it and all, but like you said it a couple weeks ago, Ty, and it's so true. What they need to do is just get her on the road, work every house show every night, make her and Bianca, and get her to work and be able to sell and do a hot. She's got to get those two things down with this tag, and the tag's a good spot for her to hide her, because when she hit her finish, she hit her finish and it looked like money. And it was great.
The finish was money.
The finish was money, and she looks like a star. And
Everything else was dog shit.
Yeah, it was.
Well, off of the 110, they had her in early, then she went out, and then they put the heat on
She
her.
went in early and did 2 backbreakers
Yep.
and then tagged out.
Well,
again.
no, and then they did the double hip toss, and they pushed her up above her head.
she did 2
she did
backbreakers.
nothing.
They did the double thing, and she went out again.
So the problem was with the booking. You should have just booked her for a hot tag.
Yeah.
Not come in, boom, boom, and then have this happen, this transition, which was the worst thing I've ever seen in the wrestling business.
Well-
it was so bad when you're working with the Kabuki Warriors,
Yeah.
maybe 2 of the top 20 girls on the planet, and you can't look good. There's a problem.
I totally agree. Jade is certainly green, right? She's probably had under 100 matches in her career. I would say that's probably definitely true. But it's not main roster, main event, pay-per-view ready. And obviously,
I
they...
feel bad for Bianca, to be honest with you.
Well, Bianca is, and she's now...
And I feel bad for her. She did a shit ton. And, I'm not the hugest Bianca fan. She does very good work, but I think she's, super robotic, and she telegraphs everything that she does. It when a spot's coming, you can see her getting ready.
Yeah, but you almost have to with the girls there to make. You got to show them, hey, this one's coming next, girl. Don't screw up.
No,
Yeah,
and I understand. I'm not taking it. I think she's a very good worker. Just I'm nitpicking here. I'm not just, everything seems telegraphed. But I feel bad for Bianca because she's put in a place where she's got to do all the work. She's got to carry everything,
Well,
and
it's bigger than that. She's put in the place to get the girl over
Right.
more than she's over.
Right.
It's
Yes.
yo, we're handing this girl the strap, the whole business. Can you do it for us, please? That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
And you can see it in her face.
I don't know, Oliver. How'd you see it?
I don't know. Dude, they literally just need to put Jade on every single house show for 3 months and have her work every single everybody on the roster, everybody you got.
And I thought
Have her
that,
work dudes.
I thought
Jesus.
that's
Yeah.
what they would have done before they put the tag straps on her, but
I think they're getting their investments worth right now. They're going to see if she can sink or swim. And
Anybody know what she signed for?
no, I'm not sure. I'm sure it was great money. They're paying everybody big
Yeah, but
money.
not like that other girl that signed for $80 gazillion. It's got all the heat.
dude,
Well, if they're asking her, if she's jumping ship, I'm sure she's getting taken care of.
I don't know, and I'm not I'm not here sitting here tooting my own horn or anything, but the very first day Jade showed up at AEW, I've been saying this, and she's not got better. she has not got better.
Yeah,
And I don't know how, as good as WWE is, actually clearly they see it because they were pushing her to the moon, and then they realized what they did and put her in a tag, obviously, and then they're obviously hiding her in the matches that they're doing. But it's like, why are you not waiting until she's better? I don't understand.
Because they waited, 4 months or whatever it was to put her on TV as
she was already iced for a while.
They're like, hey, we want to return on our money here right now.
Yeah, they're like, shit, we got to do something.
Well, who's training her? Did they kind of have she's got to have great trainers there?
Stevie Wonder?
Or somebody like Al Snow or something.
I know that when she was. I know that when she was in AEW, Bryan Danielson was personally helping train her a lot. So if you didn't pick
She
up,
needs
if you didn't pick
somebody
up,
All right,
big.
so does that mean he was...
no, I mean if you didn't pick up from Bryan Danielson, I mean that's saying something.
No,
you know?
but she needs somebody big.
Yes, her
training
problem
her.
is she crouches down.
Yes.
Kevin Nash will tell you, I don't care how small the guy is in the ring with me, I am not getting to his level. He comes to my
Yes.
level. She's always like down, like she's like a Kurt Angle, like ready to shoot wrestle. You know what I mean? And the Kabuki girls are way smaller than her. She's trying to get down to their level, and she's standing around looking like a goof.
Yeah,
Right.
Nah, look, she's super green, and I think there's so much work that has to get done for her to be great in the ring. But certainly, maybe.
Oh, she'll get there.
Yeah, the star power.
She'll get there.
Look, sometimes
I
you don't
don't
have to
know,
be.
man.
Sometimes you don't have to be great in the ring to be a
Dude,
star.
but I mean, she's only going to need.
Nowadays, you don't say that.
Well, it's true.
She'll only need 5 moves, if that.
Yeah, I know.
No, Toss.
She'll learn how to work
What you're saying is no. You don't have to. You don't have to look great in order to be a star, but you can't look stupid.
You can't. You can't blow spots like they did. You can't. You can't blow spots like
That's
they
not
did.
they.
Like, listen,
Her.
Her. I
Listen,
shouldn't say
like,
yeah. You're right.
You can be a non-working motherfucker and get over in this business, but you,
On the Sandman podcast, we're talking about that.
I've never met a guy like that. Just say.
but you can't look fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well.
And
no.
that's how she look. Like, you can't look fucking stupid. Like, you can be like, oh, that guy, like, he's not a good worker, but you can't look fucking stupid.
Yeah. Now, certainly this match was clunky at best. I mean, look, it's going to be an interesting climb. We'll be talking about this over the next couple weeks and months on the
One
show.
last thing. Think about it. How much better I see her. Okay, in the 1990s, being a superwoman in the WWE, then everybody can work at this stage.
Yes.
And everybody can work their asses off, man, woman. You're on TV, you can work, basically.
No, you're right.
She's got to have to work.
Yeah, it's interesting because in the business in the 80s and the 90s and even in the early 2000s, there were a lot of people on television who were not the best of workers.
Right, and you can get by.
But you
Now-
didn't have to be that.
now
You were
the
a
standard-
plumber. You were Salvatore Sincere.
You say his name every week. Like, seriously.
Those are the ones that I think of back then.
No, it's true because, like, there's not anybody in any professional wrestling that's on television pretty much that's like a bad worker. There's very, very
Nope,
few people.
you gotta
few and
work
far
your
between.
ass off now.
Nowadays, but back in the day, if you're watching 1991 wrestling or something like that, the cards are full of them. It's a different business.
Ollie's totally right. She doesn't need a lot of moves, but to get to that point, you got to be a ring master to know that you only need a couple moves.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
I just don't know how nobody's told her that you only need 3 moves.
I know, but you have to understand there's other things that you're doing in between those 3 moves. There's 45 seconds here. There's 30 seconds here where she's like...
I understand that, but instead of having her on the shelf for 4 months, you could have gave her 3 moves and had her do 5 squash matches each week.
True.
The problem,
things they could have done different.
The problem is that everybody else can work, so she wants to work.
Yeah.
If you're smart enough, if you can say, hey, this is how I'm going to get over. Hey, this is how I'm going to get over. I don't need to work like these other women need to work. This is how I can get over. Fine, but nobody's told her that. Everybody's pushed her to the fucking front of the line and said, this is who you can be. This is who you can be. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could have a big head, but if she had a huge
No,
head,
I'm not
we
saying
would know
she.
about it.
No, I'm not.
That would be out.
I'm not
True.
saying she has a big head. I mean, of course, if I were her, I would want to work like the other women. But sometimes you got to sit back or have somebody tell you, "Yo, this is what you got to do."
Yeah. Next up on the show, this was the main event. Cody Rhodes defeated AJ Styles. They went nearly 30 minutes. I thought the work here was really, really strong. First big title defense for Cody Rhodes. AJ Styles, I saw some people chirping on Twitter saying, oh, maybe he's a little washed up. AJ brought it, man. AJ brought it like he would for the past 20 years in this match. This was a big-time main event. And AJ Styles has had title matches with both Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes now. I thought that was a cool stat that I saw on Twitter.
That's great.
Good jobs for both of them.
Oh, yeah. No. He went over Dusty. He went over Dusty in TNA. But,
All right, that makes sense. Dusty doing that business.
But, I mean, Hack, what did you think of the match here?
Great. I mean, it's a great match. Look at the two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And anybody that would that could say that AJ's washed up, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
One, look at his body. He looks like a wrestling doll himself. And two, the kid can work with anybody on the planet. I don't care where you're from. If you speak the same language, that kid can work with anybody.
Go work a broomstick.
I mean, he worked you, Hack, right, in TNA?
I don't know.
Yeah, you guys had a heck of a match.
Yeah, you guys had a match.
We'll have to talk about that on a future episode.
right.
You guys had a great match.
And then we'll talk about his first night turning heel. I had to give him some advice.
Wow, okay, so that's a future teaser for an episode there.
I was
right?
there for that one.
What did you guys think Cody's defense here? Was this like a title match that, sometimes when you start out these title reigns, you got to build up a couple of, wins for the champion. It does seem like Cody's going to be getting in for like a super long title reign again, following the Roman one, maybe 6 months to a year. I don't know, maybe a little bit longer. But did you think AJ Styles was a good first challenger for Cody, really?
Yeah, I mean, did they go into the history of AJ beating Dusty in TNA or anything like that
Nah,
at
I don't
all?
think it was mentioned on TV.
No, I mean, I guess they might want to probably stay away from that because that was kind of the whole story of finishing the story,
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't know.
But I mean, I'm surprised they didn't touch on that a little bit.
I would have if you wanted to get more heat.
Yeah, why not?
Because there was nothing leading up to this. I mean,
I beat your dad, now I'm going to beat you.
right? Why would you not?
Yeah, I mean, I would have went into it, but
As far as I remember, I don't think they did anything like that, anything leading up to it.
yeah, I mean, it was a good first opponent, but I thought it would have been a better first opponent if that's the way they went with it.
Yeah.
I beat your dad, now I'm going to beat you right after he finishes the story for his dad, but...
Yeah, where do you guys see the booking going? Because it does seem they're kind of in this killing time period in between, that post-Mania, pre-SummerSlam period. It's a lot of angles where they're waiting to build up on things for the future. I don't know where you guys have or who you think.
I don't know where you go with Cody, but it better be damn good.
He has LA Knight as a possible another guy.
Baby.
That doesn't matter at all.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And they got AJ Styles, but who else is out there for Cody to work with?
Solo.
They put Randy. They don't want Randy to lose to him.
You could do Solo and him.
You could do Jey Uso with him.
You could, but that's baby again.
It doesn't matter. Then they'll pop for each guy doing their moves.
But they also have a history of Jay backing Cody. Now it's Jay's
Well,
hey,
put them together then.
Well, that's what I'm. Well, Jay's hey, I helped you get the title. Now I want my shot. You can go that angle. You know what I'm saying? Everything like that.
Yeah, but you just got to think of his opponents who are out there.
Well, yes, there's nobody.
No, and the other guy, with the sword.
Drew back.
Yeah.
But they're on. Is it McIntyre's Raw?
McIntyre's Raw.
Yeah, that's right.
Cody's
He
now
knows who's
SmackDown.
where now.
I know, the
But
draft.
Yeah.
The great draft.
It's one of my complete and utter issues with the title change at WrestleMania is because you put the belt on Cody and you have nowhere to go. You give him AJ Styles. I don't love it. It's credible. AJ's credible. That's fine. I'm not invested at all because AJ's not going to win.
0% chance to win that match going.
AJ's not going to win. And I don't know if it's a product of I don't know if it's a product of Roman working once every couple months and like whatever, but this title match just seemed like a little bit forced just to get Cody over again, and you're not working any other angle because I don't see where they can go from here.
Yeah.
I don't see an avenue because you clearly have the McIntyre Punk angle. Yes, you can do Cody and LA Knight. Yeah, I mean,
Cody's gonna have to turn heel.
you can do Cody and Jay. You can do
He's gonna have to turn heel eventually.
Cody and Solo seems a little bit too premature because you would need Roman to come back at some aspect to maybe try and fuck Cody, but I just can't see where this is going.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either what they're doing. I definitely think that, you know, the long-term direction is probably, you know, the Rock match, whether it's at SummerSlam or Mania. But
And that's
in
the
between that, I don't really know, and I don't know if they know.
That is the problem. If that's what they're looking at, then the next year in Cody's, it's going to be
Right.
ridiculous.
A time,
It'll be
horrible.
stupid.
a time-killing title. run,
Yeah.
you
Right,
know?
it's going to be stupid, and that was kind of my whole theory in them changing the belts. And right now, so if you think about it, Priest isn't really a, like I said, I'm not invested in Priest. Yeah, you can be invested in Cody, but he's not losing the belt. So what are you really invested in?
Yeah.
Like what?
That's a great point.
Like, your biggest angle you're invested in is between McIntyre and Punk, and neither of them are a champion.
No, that's definitely a great point, Ty. I mean, you gotta get some, like, if you're putting the belt on somebody, you should have the next 2 or 3 programs lined up already.
Right.
And I don't know if their booking does at this point. So that's definitely something to keep note of, and we'll be watching this as we go along. The show that we are reviewing this week for ECW was a classic show from ECW. This was It Ain't Seinfeld, coming from Queens, New York. This show... Okay, so, Hack, first of all, I got to ask you, man. Were you ever a fan of the Seinfeld show, and what's your favorite episode if you were?
No, I don't have a favorite episode.
But-
I mean, yeah, I think I had to watch. I think I might have been in prison and I had to watch it because the only thing that came on at like 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe.
Was Seinfeld?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But were you a fan?
Yeah, I think Kramer cracked me up. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
You know,
But it ain't Seinfeld. And this show was on a Thursday night, on the night of the Seinfeld finale. So while 73 million people were watching the Seinfeld finale at home, there was 1,000 degenerates in Queens, New York watching ECW.
Now, Tosh or Hack, correct me if I'm wrong, there wasn't many Thursday night ECW shows.
Not that I know of. I know you guys do a lot
no,
of
we
spot
would
shows.
do like a 4-day weekend every couple months.
Okay, so
There'd be a
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, because like as far as I remember, they were like Friday, Saturday, whatever. I don't remember them being there, but what do I know? I was young. I don't know.
Before we get into the show, I do have a note from the 4/20/98 Wrestling Observer. Hack, put away your pen there, bud. There's a note here from Dave Meltzer. Apparently, there was an incident a few weeks back at the Pittsburgh Plaza Hotel in which rooms registered to Thomas Couch, Tommy Rogers, James Fullington, John Marks, referee Pee Wee Moore, Tracy Smothers, and Sabu were all trashed. Basically, ECW is now banned from the hotel. Incidents like that, while not a regular occurrence, were also not uncommon from ECW a few years back, but since the company is higher profile, Paul Heyman has to take more serious things like this.
Bullshit.
According to Heyman, Sabu and Sandman took the heat for the incident, paid for the damage, and were both suspended for the weekend, but transported themselves in without getting paid in order to do the angles. Do you have any memories of
That's a
this?
straight lie.
You have no
we
memories of
never
this?
trashed hotel rooms ever.
Okay.
We weren't like big rock stars, dude. Nobody was trashing hotel rooms.
All right, this is a note in the Wrestling Observer. So
Okay, well, if it's in the Observer, then you gotta believe it.
no.
Heck,
I just
have
want
you
to.
ever?
I've never trashed a hotel room in my life.
No, no.
Ever. I've never seen anybody in ECW trash.
Have you ever left a hotel room to somebody that could have been like,
No, we were all leaving together.
take my room or something like that?
So when it comes to
That's
these
bullshit.
wrestling dirt sheet stories, like this had to come from somewhere.
Paul?
Paul's just telling this to Meltzer to make something up, to give him something, or what? Like, you have no memory of this, and you're saying it's like...
I don't remember ever being in a trashed hotel room in my entire career.
Yeah.
We just didn't do it.
Yeah, and look, man, I think you're certainly very,
I would tell you if
Yeah.
we did it. I'd be like, yeah, dude, oh my God, we trashed like the whole block.
Well, that's the whole reason I asked you the question, is because I thought you'd have some story about trashing the hotel room. But it turns out, hey, listen, Paul, we're going to need a retraction here.
Or was it Todd?
Yeah, no, this is Paul Stooge. It said, look, I'm
Todd is God.
Yeah, I don't know. According to Heyman.
The funniest thing is me and Sam was suspended for the weekend.
Yeah, but you guys,
Yeah.
you're saying
I know,
this is
like they were fucking schoolboys or something.
Yes.
And we paid our own way in.
Yes.
Like Paul would care that you guys trashed the hotel room.
Care?
This ain't
Like,
true.
there isn't a million other hotels you can stay at.
Way more than that.
All right. I just had to ask you that one. There is a cool fact that I recently heard this week about Jerry Seinfeld. He was on the Rich Eisen show. So Seinfeld said that due to money made from Saturday night's main event for NBC, they were able to fund Seinfeld and bankroll the first 4 episodes. So because of wrestling, we got Seinfeld. So I just want to say that before we hop into the show here. It's a little cool fact. For this show, look, this crowd was certainly just awesome again. I mean, I know we just talked about that crowd in France. I put this crowd in Queens right
This
up
crowd
there.
was 25 years before that crowd.
And I would put them right up there because
Yep.
this show was wild. We are going to put this show up on our social again. You guys can watch this on YouTube, but certainly just an incredible crowd reaction from top to bottom. Every match on this card had incredible heat, and this is like prime degenerate ECW crowd right here.
It's raw. It is just raw.
What was it like? Like, walk me through, Hack. What was it like working in front of these buildings, in front of these fans?
Oh, that building was so great because everybody was right on top of you, and they were so rabid. I don't know. They just fill you with electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you I've never gotten a better high in my life than coming out in a building like that, because it's loud.
Yeah.
I mean, it's close, it's small, close quarters, and it's loud.
You're right on top of each other, and that crowd was wild. From start to finish, that crowd was wild. I mean, it's only a 2.5 hour show.
Yeah, it's electric.
And it wasn't like the greatest
For
work.
us, that's nothing. We
Right.
used to do 4-hour shows.
Yeah.
4.5 hour shows, 5-hour shows.
So
You read it.
I loved it. It started off with Justin Credible and Jerry Lynn. I really enjoyed this opener. There was super heat to start, and asshole chants were going for Credible. Justin asshole. I love this. I thought it was really good. Credible took a great bump into the railing, and then Jerry hit this rolling senton on him, and the crowd was just going nuts. They really just busted their ass in this. I thought those two had great chemistry in the ring always, Hack. What is it like sometimes when you're working with a guy and you just like find out that like, oh, we got it. Like these two, we're just a good match in the ring together.
Oh, it's the best. Like me, Sabu, me, Cactus. Even though me and Cactus didn't get along, it was like poetry out there. You're just having fun, talking, coming up with stuff off the top of your head.
Yeah.
Because you can trust each other.
Yeah, because I always thought Justin and Jerry had really good chemistry together. Because I know people always talk about the RVD series with Jerry Lynn. Anytime Jerry Lynn got in the ring with Justin,
That was the best Jerry ever was with RVD.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean,
Jerry needed to be elevated by RVD.
Yeah. Oh, he absolutely did. But I mean, this match was really, really good. I thought they had really good chemistry. I did notice that Justin ripped off the Raven drop toe hold spot into the chair.
Yeah, I called it.
Yeah, it's a complete rip-off.
Complete rip off there.
The cane, the toe hold.
Yeah.
Well, he ripped that off a little while ago, but everybody rips off everything, and
Right.
Justin made that like a key repertoire in his matches, along with the flare bump over the turnbuckle,
Yep.
and then like you said, the bump into the guardrail. Bump over the turnbuckle, come down. He would either take a punch to the guardrail or bump on the apron, whatever. I mean, he does. Justin was a lot better worker than I remember him being. I mean, he's right there for everything. He could sell. He wouldn't take everything super clean, but he could sell.
No, he was a puss.
He could
He
sell,
was.
but he could work, and he was
And he knows
there.
it.
And he was there for every single part of the match. I mean, and in that match, you had a Justin Asshole chant. You had a She Sucks Dick chant for Chastity. You had a He Sucks Dick chant for Jason.
Yep.
Then
She's got herpes.
She's got herpes.
Yep.
And then you had a He's Got Hemorrhoids, I think, chant. And then, like, this is the opening match. Yeah, this is the opening
It set
match.
the tone for the rest of the night.
You have to understand, ECW fans taught the rest of the world how to be fans.
Yeah, that certainly did, and I thought Justin was kind of always like over pushed in the later day ECW, but you got to say, man, for the choices of who they had left and the heat that he was getting, you do understand why they did push him up to the top of the card.
I mean, he knew how to be a heel and he could talk.
Right.
And he could work.
And the options were kind of limited at that point for who could be the top guy in the company,
Sure.
based on who everybody left. So it's like, when you get to like the 99 and 2000 ECW, and it's like, is it really just incredible in the main event? It's like, well,
You knew he was going to get heat.
yeah, he was. He was going to get heat. And I mean, sure, did he have Jason and a ton of other seconds with him and everything, and Franny and all
Didn't
that stuff?
matter.
He got heat, and I thought the finish here was pretty good. I know Jerry Lynn took over with like a brainbuster reversal, and then goes up top, only for Jason to interfere, pushing him off. But then the tombstone reversal, Jerry hit the finish, tombstone on him for the 1-2-3.
They should have finished on the first Jason interference.
With the backbreaker.
Yeah. Went a little too long. They
Yeah.
should have finished on the first interference, but
Yeah, no, I
Nitpicking.
thought it was really good. Next up on the show was Sabu
Squash.
and Danny Doring. This was just a Sabu showcase. It was like, Sabu, go out there. Sabu, go out there and do your thing for 5
Danny
minutes.
did his job great.
No, my favorite part about it was Danny selling and getting carried out by refs after, like it was just a Sabu showcase,
Yes.
like he was just in the car crash.
Yeah, I loved Doring's strut. That got a real pop for me when he came out doing the strut and everything. But Sabu and Fonzie came out, and it was just a huge reaction for Sabu. And this is the time where Bill Alfonso's like blowing the whistle the entire match, and it was just, you hear the whistle going. What was that like, Hack, working when Fonzie's ripping the whistle the entire time? Is that bothersome?
When you're out there, you don't even hear
I was
it.
going to say white noise.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
When I'm out there, I'm not even. I'm more into the fans' noise than that whistle.
Next time I see Fonzie, I'm going to ever ask him if it ever bothered him blowing the whistle the entire time, like messed up his ears or
Dude,
anything.
literally the whole time.
The
I'm
whole
like,
time.
Every time I'm like, Fonzie with the fucking whistle.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. But
Yeah, but you know he's there.
You do.
You know he's there.
Yeah.
It's like when Woman left ECW and she went to WCW and she did all that screaming at ringside when she was with Benoit. You're there at
Right.
ringside. You're something. You're somebody. You know what I mean?
True. I love Fonzie because he does a lot of like second stuff for Sabu. All the chair props, the table stuff.
all of
He's
it.
all part of the act of
Keeps
the
himself
Sabu.
intricate.
He does.
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy.
now,
Yeah,
the only
Daddy.
thing I was wondering is why is Sabu second on the card? Even though he's doing a squash match, why is Sabu second on the card?
Because Paul Heyman put the card together at 7:45 that night.
Well, yes, but then you said the dirt sheet or whatever that maybe Sabu this, that, and the other, and then I also think
But Hack was in the main event of the show, so if there's going to
correct.
be heat off
And
that.
what also I thought that he obviously reappears, which we'll get to, but that's why I'm like, is that why he put him second on the card? Because Sabu's not a second.
No.
Even though it was a squash match, he's still not a second match card.
I think kind of like the whole tone of the show was just like having a fun show. Like I was,
That
Clearly-
makes sense that Sabu's doing that because he's coming out later doing
Right,
the angle
that's-
with
yes,
the
right,
RVD.
that's why
That's why
figured-
that's it. That's
right.
exactly why.
yeah. No, I mean, look, it was a fun showcase. I certainly enjoyed it. It was a very short match, squash match. Next up, a huge Seinfeld sucks chant broke out in between the matches. Shouts out to these fans again. Like, while the whole world, 73 million people are watching the Seinfeld finale, these degenerates in Queens were like, nah, we're going to see ECW wrestling and get drunk and rowdy all night. So, all you people out there at that show, you guys are some real ones, man. Next up on the show was Chris Candido.
The girls in the audience should have showed their tits.
Yeah, seriously, girls, come on. Yeah, come on.
What else are you doing there?
What else are you doing there? You're at It Ain't Seinfeld, you know?
Looking at Rob Van Dam's ass.
It Ain't Seinfeld.
His wedgies.
Yeah.
Dude had a wedgie his whole career. I don't know how he wrestled with him.
He's caked up, man. Next up on the show was Chris Candido and Jamie Dundee. Okay, so
What a freaking classic.
I loved PG-13 and JC Ice. I gotta ask you, Hack, did you ever get a chance to party with Jamie Dundee? Because he's a wild one
Well,
himself.
yeah, because when he came up, this is when we were rolling with my guys then. It would be me, Guido, Wildfire, Tracy Smothers, and then those guys came in and they fit right into that. Because Scorp was gone at this point, maybe, and Todd was gone at this point, so I'm moving into another clique, you know?
Okay.
And those are the guys that I hung around with. But Jamie, I never seen a person that was so on all the time. All he wanted to do was make people laugh. He never shut up. It doesn't matter if you're in a 7-Eleven, at anywhere going into the building, the dude was always on, and what a great guy.
I just like watching him do that pre-match mic work was awesome. He's like the classic, like you could just tell he's a wrestling guy through and through.
He's vaudeville.
Yes.
He's carnival. He's like he's the Barker at the Ringling Brothers Circus. You know what I mean? Jamie, he grew up in the business.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people don't even know who his dad is.
Oh, legend.
You know what I mean? But
legend.
like, Ty, did you know when I said? Did you get a picture of your head of Bill?
I asked you, and you said his dad used to work Lawler all the time, and I was like, well, who was his dad? And then you said, and I'm like, I didn't even like picture that.
You got to go and watch some Bill Dundee and Jerry Lawler. I mean, like seriously, some of the best feuds of all time were those two down in Memphis.
Well, and I was telling Ty also that Jamie did a couple, like I would say a minimum 3 episodes of
Jerry Springer.
It's Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
And then remember who Jerry Springer's security guy, the bald dude, he started his own show. Jamie was the very first episode of his show.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Wow, okay.
and he's always the dirtbag in the episode.
What a shocker.
You know, and having sex with 3. I mean, he was great. He was a natural.
He really, really was. And PG-13, like all the stooging they would do and like all the spots, they'd always hit everything. Like PG-13, so underrated. I absolutely love them.
Worked their asses off.
Oh yeah.
Dude, and one of the craziest things is like the first thing I said to Hack, because the thing came up, it was like Jamie Dundee versus Chris Candido. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about Jamie Dundee. And then I said to Hack, I was like, man, that dude, he was always like super nice to me. Like, he's actually a dude I ever met, like not a big name, not a big like whatever, but being in the back, like being you would see his persona like in the ring and like he's all bravado, like outspoken, like this, that, the other thing. And I remember him like being so super cool and nice to me and like just hanging out, like, and I was just a little kid.
Yeah.
So like I just remember him being just a super nice guy, like super down to earth, super nice to me, always like took care of me. Like that's the most thing that I came away from. Just
well,
like,
he was the same size as you, so you guys would have got along great.
Well,
he was
that's
tiny
true.
out. But you said he shot. Did you pick up what he shot on? One of the last things he said on the microphone to Candido? He said something about sunny days.
He had a little sunny day comment, which if you wrestling fans.
Obviously it was something with
Tammy.
Sean.
Yeah, well, the famous.
That's when Brett said that.
Well, no, the famous line was Sean said that about Brett,
That's what it was.
which caused a lot of turmoil.
And then
because
Jamie shoot with Chris right there.
Yeah.
You know, Chris, he was affable. He knew what was happening. You
Yeah.
know, so
I loved his pre-match mic work. I mean, like he said to the
all
one
sexual.
girl,
Everything
Yes.
he said was absolutely 100% sexual.
the one girl in the crowd, he said, "I would tell you a joke that would knock your titties off,
but
I
you've
see you
already heard
it."
that. That was fucking hilarious.
I was dying laughing at that.
I
seriously-
cracked up
And
at
then
that.
the fat guy mooning him. The fat guy mooning him from the upper deck was just like, this crowd's awesome. I love it. It was great. I like that.
And the match was exactly how an old style Memphis match is supposed to go. You let Chris shine, you go, something happens, you throw him outside, you get some heat on him, you go back in, you go home.
Yeah, and
It was a perfect Memphis. It was like it was in the Mid-South Coliseum in 1990.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought, for what it was, like it's not a 5-star match, but with the crowd work, and I loved every bit of it. So
No, but it was a classic to people people that get it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I was
It was
laughing and smiling the whole
There's
time.
1,000 matches just like that of guys like that, and a lot of the younger people could really learn something by watching that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, keep it simple.
Next up on the show was the FBI, which was Guido and Smothers in the ring, facing off against Nova and Meanie. Talk about fun. So this was just so much fun. Like, seeing Tracy dance can always put a smile on my face, like, instantly.
Dude, it was the best part of the match.
The best part of the match was watching Tracy dance. Like, so Nova and Meanie come out to Let Me Clear My Throat, and the house just comes unglued. Like, the house is going absolutely nuts just for their entrance. And one of the things watching these fan cam shows that's kind of cool is you get the music in there, and that's something that, you know, on the network, guys, if you only know ECW from watching the WWE Network or Peacock, look, go find a way to download it illegally and get some ECW with some music in, because it seriously is a different vibe, and it's like the genuine vibe that the people got to listen to and like watch, because all these guys coming out to music, and it's not just Hack, it's not just you with Metallica, Enter Sandman.
Dude, as soon as anybody's music, that first note hits, everybody knows
Everybody knows who's coming out.
Yeah.
And it's just such a cool vibe, because people really, really associated with everyone's theme songs in ECW. And this is top to bottom on the card, and it's just...
Yeah, it didn't matter who you were.
Yeah, it was all mainstream music.
Yeah, but
that was happening.
It was, but it was also all stuff that fit the characters.
Well, for sure.
Everybody's music was like a
yeah,
direct...
it was that Seattle sound. You know what I mean? The grunge was all happening right then in the early 90s. Man in a Box, Raven song.
But it's not just that. It's Balls coming out to AC/DC. Like, that's the perfect song for Balls Mahone. You know, and it's just, the crowd's going nuts.
But that's what's so great about what Paul did, was he kind of married us and
the times.
Yeah, and it was perfect.
And you said
with Extreme, the name, everything.
And you said the Nova and Meanie music hit, but like, dude, as soon as that FBI music hits, they're getting over.
Oh yeah.
Even though they're heels, like that FBI music hits, everyone's doing the. F you under the chin.
How can you not dance?
How can you not dance?
Let the rhythm with the heat with the dance floor.
I mean, 3/4 of the crowd's got to be Dango Man, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Smothers is just kicking it.
Until they get in the ring, and then they're totally heels, but like when they're on their way to the ring...
All right,
everybody's kicking it.
This was like, I think the thing that popped me, and a lot of things popped me on the show, but Tommy Rich being announced as the president of Italy popped me so hard.
And his own flag with his name on it, like the Shah of Iran used to do.
And it broke.
Oh, that's right.
And it broke, and they were chanting, "You fucked up, you fucked up." I'm dying laughing watching this, because it's just shtick. It's not like, again, look, I love 5-star wrestling, but wrestling's more than the wrestling. And nothing exemplifies that more than some stuff like this show.
But that was pro wrestling.
I know.
Like, that is pro
I
wrestling.
know.
Yeah, people say we were all like hardcore. We had plenty of comedy and doing
plenty of
what we're
levity in
doing.
it. Like, dude, Finnegan doing the spots.
Okay, we'll get to this here. Okay, so a dance-off breaks down between Meanie and Tracy. And then it includes John Finnegan. And then
we can't.
And that's after the first 5 minutes.
Tracy having me pissing myself just watching him in the middle of the ring doing his thing, dude. It was just great.
Yo, rest in peace to the Thug, man.
Tracy sells everything, and he's shushing the crowd, pushing the crowd back. Everything that ever happens, like, everything. He's selling everything. He's working everything. It's so great. They do, like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then the fucking dance-off breaks out.
The dance-off breaks off between Meanie and Tracy, and then John Finnegan gets involved.
Dude, his cabbage patch, his version.
It looks like you doing the cabbage patch.
Yeah, where did you learn that from,
you gotta
man?
have your own version. You gotta get the hips going with the cabbage patch.
Okay.
Johnny Grunge didn't have no hips. He was another guy that could use that ladder on the ground right there.
Okay, yeah.
Get his body tuned up.
Finnegan does then a clothesline, and then he starts tossing people.
It was great. I forgot that.
I was dying.
It was great.
Like, seriously, I was laughing my ass off watching this match. And if you guys, seriously, go back and watch the show. But this might be, like, the best match on the show to watch, because I was dying laughing everything in this match. I loved it. I don't know, Ty, what are you about to say here?
And it's not only the comedy, it's not only the wrestling, but everything you're doing, and I always talk about this if you're listening, like, everything you do is for a purpose. And, dude, the timing is so good.
Yeah.
It's comedy, but it's comedy mixed with professional wrestling, but the timing makes everything so
They
perfect.
literally did like 20 things with a referee involved, and all of it was like boom, boom,
boom, boom, boom, and that was so great. And
with a ref.
And
With
that's
a ref.
why I'm such a stickler on timing now with like professional wrestling, is because I grew up watching everybody on the ECW card had timing. You can do less, make it mean more.
Yeah.
Timing is
Billy
everything.
Gunn.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
do less, timing is do less, make it mean more. Timing is everything, and that's what they had, and that's what I appreciated so much out of, like, not only this match, but just everything.
Yeah, and it's not like these guys couldn't work. Like, they can work so many styles. Tracy Smothers could do any kind of match. Guido can do shoot-style wrestling. He's as good as anybody in the world.
Tracy's probably got 8, 9, 10,000 matches under his belt at this point in his life.
I mean, he's working
the guy
all
worked
Japan.
every night forever.
Yeah, and he's working down
Guido,
south.
shoot fighter over in Japan.
Yeah.
All of them could work.
Yeah.
You know what? I said to Ty, I honestly think this was Tommy Rich's first time ever working as a heel in his career.
Oh, wow. That's a great point.
I'm pretty sure.
I know, and I was like, wow, really?
You know what? You might be right on that. I'm not sure if he did anything in WCW as a heel, like in the early '90s. I think he may have, but that's something we'll have to do a hack check for that next week. I love this match, and then it's a lot of shtick, right? But it works, and the crowd's into it the whole time.
Timing makes it fucking great.
Yes,
Because they didn't do anything but the timing and just doing what you're supposed to do, making everything mean something, makes it a great match, and they didn't do anything.
I love the people that were singing the Godfather theme song throughout the match too. You could hear it. You could hear it in the background. It was great. The finish comes with Judge Jeff Jones, who's not a judge at this point. He's still a ref, and he squares off with Nova. And a shoving match ensues, and then Jones kicks Nova low, and then Guido tries to take advantage with a swinging neck breaker. Nova just reversed it, and he hits. I think he was calling it the Novocaine at that point on Guido.
He was trying to push the Novocaine. Yeah,
and then Finnegan just DDTs Jones at the same time for the simultaneous finish. I popped big for the finish. Like, again, this ain't 5 stars, but for a comedy match, I honestly think it's a comedy 5-star. You need to see this match.
And if you notice, Finnegan hits the DDT and he bumps and rolls over
For the count.
simultaneously into the 3 count. Like, it was fucking great.
Were you like when you guys put together this goofy stuff, Hack? Like, I mean, how much fun are you having out there in the ring if you're involved?
I
in something
remember
like
me and
this?
Steve Austin did his first time in. We're doing a 3-way with me, him, and Mikey. We do a spot where it's me, him in the ring, and I go to poke him in the eyes. He does the Three Stooges. Yeah, me and Austin did a Three Stooges spot in the middle of the ring, and we were putting it together. It was you just crack up because I don't know. I watch a lot of old Archie Bunker episodes and stuff like that, and really professional wrestling breaks down like your most basic comedy that there even was in the late 60s, 70s. There's certain spots for this, there's certain spots for this, then you go home. It's so simple and it's so elementary that when you get to do a Three Stooges. Well, I do the other thing too. When at Booker T, we were in Texas. You know where Booker T does his spinneroonie? It's me, him, Dreamer in the ring. My spinneroonie was Curly doing the Curly shuffle along in the middle. Oh, and Dreamer's jumping over my legs. Booker's jumping over my legs.
So you're doing a hopscotch?
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
We got such a kick.
Is this a house show?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just
Texas.
you're just having fun. You're just having fun.
Exactly. Booker was all in for it. He was cracking up too.
So if you're
awesome.
listening right now, Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Sandman did a Three Stooges eye poke spot that you can hopefully check out.
Oh, absolutely. Next up on the show was Lance Storm and Balls Mahoney. Certainly a styles clash here, kind of, but I thought it was a decent match. I know we talked about the music stuff, but that really is the best part of watching these non-Peacock shows is the music. Big Balls Mahoney got the biggest balls of them all, and he just hits different. I love when anytime you have a Balls Mahoney chair shot building up to the finish, and yeah, the balls. I love that.
I can't not do it whenever when Cody starts doing that shit. In my head, I'm like, balls.
I know.
Balls,
I know it's the Dusty, but to me, in my head, yeah, it kind of is.
Balls.
You losers.
Shut up, man. This, it was a fun match. Not really anything great, and I don't think. Do you have any memories or thoughts on the match?
I just want to say that Balls was the kind of character that you didn't know it, but he could work his ass off too.
I was just going to say
he?
he could wrestle.
If he really wanted to, he could have done strong division in Japan easily.
That's crazy.
Easily.
I know he was a really good wrestler, and everybody always says that.
He was perfect for their strong division back then.
Was he an amateur?
Huh?
Was he amateur wrestler as well? Yeah. Okay.
If you notice, they come out the gates, the first thing Balls shoots at
Yes, he
legs,
does.
and they start doing that whole thing, and then they start working it, and then it's like the crowd's going boring, because they're expecting Balls to be something different. But in my head, I'm like, okay, Balls is working with Lance Storm. He wants to show that he can work a little bit
Well,
too.
because Lance ain't taking the chair shots.
No.
No. He hit once to the back with one out on the floor, and that would have been it.
Yeah.
But, how many guys took a chair shot coming from Calgary? Alberta, Canada. Very good job.
Yes, very good job by you. Good job by you.
Yeah, those guys, there was no steel chairs in Stu Hart's basement.
No.
And that's where he learned with Jericho, all those dudes.
He was, yeah.
Who else was there? Let's think of who else came out.
Jericho.
Well,
The other two guys. Edge and Christian came out of there, right?
no, I don't think Edge and Christian
They didn't?
did. I'm pretty sure they were not
They're Canadian.
the dungeon. I know.
Pretty sure
They're
Jericho
from
came
Eastern
out
Canada.
of that.
Did Jericho come out
Yes,
of there?
Jericho
Who
and
else?
Lance Storm. Well, the dungeon. I mean, I know Brian Pillman at points. I know Mark Henry at points. Owen, obviously. I mean, there's a lot of guys that came out of the dungeon, but I know that they were later era Stampede, not like the prime of Stampede wrestling
Right.
with like Dynamite Kid and.
Yeah, but
British
those
Bulldog.
guys were trained on a totally different level than I was ever trained. Like night and day.
Oh, Lance is just in terms of technical wrestling, he's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
But yeah, the finish was, the Storm was doing a springboard drop
We
kick.
called it.
Yeah.
We were watching the show. We were like, kick.
Well, you know what? Yeah, wasn't the Balls had the chair turned around or something?
Yes.
Was that?
Well,
you
yeah,
can always tell.
they did the spot, and Balls reversed it, and then he ended up picking up the chair, and then we're like, kick. Here we go.
Yeah,
Finish.
so that was a finish. Kind of just a whatever match, but certainly the crowd was into it and it was fun. Next up, Joey Styles was in the ring and the fans were going nuts, just chanting "Seinfeld sucks." That again, ECW fans, thanks for keeping it real. And then he was interrupted by Taz. So Taz, at this point, all right, Hack, I gotta ask you about this because this is the debut of the FTW title here. So Taz is basically cutting a promo, basically running down the fact that Shane Douglas is not defending against him, and running down Shane and saying he's going to make his own title, which is the FTW title, which is still here today. Jericho has it right now. Hack, what did the boys in the back think when Taz made his own belt?
Are you serious, dude? That's what they thought.
That's what the locker
Are you
room
serious? Everybody looked at it like that.
Everybody looking at it
Everybody.
like that. Wow.
Wait, Hack. So clearly, I guess Paul knew what was going on, but did anybody?
Paul and Taz probably.
But did anybody else?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you would think. I don't know. You know what? Probably at this time they might not have been driving anymore together, like Dream or Paul and Taz, because in the beginning they would always drive together. So I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. But everybody was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
So then Bam Bam comes out. And Hack, I gotta ask you.
Taz always had this thing where he didn't want you to cross your arms in the ring when he was in the ring.
Because that was Taz's
Yeah,
thing.
that was his thing. So Bear was like, this little midget is going to come up with his own belt in the locker room and I'm going to have to do a job for him. No, dude, I'm going to go out there and do exactly what you do, and I'm going to hold my arms like that the whole
If you
time you
notice,
talk.
Bam Bam crosses his arms.
Oh, wow.
Just like Taz did the whole time.
So he's doing that to troll him.
Taz is talking to him, and Bam Bam
And it
crosses
ain't like
his arms.
Taz is going in the back giving him shit about it.
Well, how could you? It's Bam Bam Bigelow. I'd like to see the man with the balls to do that.
Yeah, so if you ever like rewatch it, or if you're after listening to this and then gonna rewatch it, you see Bam Bam Bigelow crossing his arms and like in front of him.
That's
like,
awesome. That is so cool. So
Yeah, but that was the general consensus of a lot of the locker room. Hey, there's some like the Danny Dorings, the Roadkills. I think even Spike, everybody, Chris Chetty's, all those dudes could work their ass off, and they came out of that school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously something was going right there. But when it came to Taz's character translating in the locker room, that wasn't so easy.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a tough business sometimes, and maybe you're going to rub the people the wrong way. Obviously, Taz carved out a legendary status for himself and a ton of great memories in the ring. So,
Yeah,
I love
more
Taz.
power to him.
I love Taz's work, and he was super badass at this point. I thought they had an awesome pull apart here. Bigelow decides to pick up one referee over his head, and he just
Pee-wee.
Pee-wee just
That was Sabu's boy. That was Sabu's young boy.
chucked him into the crowd. I thought that was awesome. And the refs and the Atlas security break it up, and you have a super hot angle there between Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow, and it felt real. You know, it had that big fight feel to it, you know, when Bam Bam first came out, and certainly those matches were always delivering between Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow. Like,
Well, yeah, they needed more gimmicks than I did. Paul had to saw out in a corner of the ring to get those two over. And then he sawed out half of the entranceway the next time.
yeah, all right, well.
Them losers.
They tried to get Taz over so many times, so many things.
They did.
and
I'm a Taz head, so I love Taz, even though you always bury him, man. Beat me if you can. Survive.
I never had a problem with him in the ring.
Yeah.
It was his problem was the locker room and the rest of the boys.
Right, yeah, you're just saying
Never a
personality
problem
wise.
with her.
You're just saying as a hang.
I'm gonna tell you
Co-worker.
something. Even though I don't like the guy, I was operated on in Salt Lake City first thing in the morning, got on a plane with Kelly, Ty's sister, flew back to the airport here, and let Taz choke me out that night in the Lulu Temple in Plymouth meeting. And Hardcore was out in the ring, and if you watch it, there's like a handheld camera view of it that you can find on like YouTube, and just me, I get tapped out by Taz, and it's me and Todd. I think he did Gordon too, so he must have Hajime Gordon and then me, and we're both laying there cracking up about freaking something. It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
But I still have respect for him in the business.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Hey, there's other guys just said, I'm a goofy guy. Some people, I can rub people the wrong way in the locker room.
Yeah, no.
Well, not every single person. You know what I mean? I can rub like 10% the wrong way.
Well, all right.
All the Canadian guys that grew up in Stu's basement.
Yeah, all right. Next up on the show was Mikey Whipwreck and Rob Van Dam. I thought Mikey, friend of the show, love you, Mikey. I thought this match was fun. I don't know if it really got going to the levels that I kind of thought it would get to. Oliver, what did you think of this match?
No, I mean, you have Rob doing his typical shit, like showing off, like, you know, how, like, you missed me, fucking, I'm too fast, too good. Like, I thought it was just kind of like the master schooling, like, the young kid is kind of like the story they were going and, like, telling for it. But, I mean, it kind of just lost me when all the interferences started happening. Like, I just don't know the context of, like, what was happening or what happened the previous show or whatever, so, like, it just kind of lost me in that aspect. I would have liked to seen it go like bell to bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but now remember, the text of Sabu doing a squash match earlier plays into Mikey's and Van Dam's match. Mikey and Van Dam know their match means nothing because of all the extracurriculars going on out there. You know what I mean? And how much you think Van Dam's really going to give Mikey anyway? You know what I mean? Because when they're shining, Van Dam, it's not
He's the
Mikey's
TV
shine.
champ at this point.
It wasn't Danny Dory's shine. It was Van Dam, Sabu's breakup shine.
Yeah, and then,
You know what I mean? So that's why you got to think about the way the card's built.
okay, yeah, and they're building up to that future tag match: Candido, Sabu, Van Dam, Storm. I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, what the hell is Candido doing out here? And then when Storm came out, then it kind of made sense more to me.
Yeah, I mean they're fighting, they're duking it out, and they're doing some double team moves, and then Sabu hits the air Sabu off Candido's back. I thought that was a super cool
It
spot.
was like a quasi.
Cluster.
It was
No,
a,
it was.
It was a quasi squat, like long squash match.
Yeah, it was like 10, 12 minutes or so. That
But
match.
it was Mikey got a couple things in, but
Got
it
a
was
little
more.
shine.
But it was more like RVD, and then the way that you set it up, you were saying it was for. Who was the tag? It was Sabu and Candido versus Van Dam and
Is that
Lance
what it ended
Storm.
up being?
I couldn't tell if it was going to be that or if it was going to be Candido and
Okay,
Storm
so
or
we
Sabu
all
and
watched
RVD.
it.
Storm,
Nobody
Storm
knows.
comes in the ring and Van Dam starts pummeling him.
Yes.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But then there was the stuff with Sabu. I mean, Sabu and RVD were a tag team, so I'm gonna maybe it's the other way around there.
Oh, so is it Sabu and RVD against the
I
other
think that's
two?
probably what it
That's
is.
probably
That's-
what
that-
it is.
No, probably
But
misspoke there.
Candido comes out and helps Sabu beat up
does.
Van
It was
Dam, and then
confusing.
Lance Storm comes out and starts hitting Candido and the other
It was all confusing. We're gonna put this down for a hack check next week too. We're gonna double check. And
Yeah,
get back
and
to
then
it.
see, because I think after this, our Asbury Park pay-per-view has Van Dam dressed up like Sabu in a match against me to open the pay-per-view.
Interesting.
That could be around somewhere.
We're gonna take a look into that. We're gonna get back.
we'll
on
have
that.
to send our resident hack checker
I think
Brother.
I know the pay-per-view is Living Dangerously.
in Asbury Park.
I'm pretty sure in Asbury, yeah. But we're gonna have to. I'll have to check the date.
That was the one we had to. Oh, I was in the locker room. Oh, I don't know. The one girl, who was the porn chick that was there?
Jenna
Jenna
Jameson?
Jameson.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
We'll
you're not
leave it
even
to
impressed.
Oliver to fucking hack check that, because if you saw our post earlier today, Oliver's clearly been hack checking since he
whole
was
All my life.
It's his job.
he's
All
been
my life.
9
That's a
years.
shoot.
Because I am a clueless mother.
That's a shoot, brother.
Right.
Job
If anything,
never ends.
I'm clearly not the only son that knows what the fuck's going on here.
Yeah,
Oliver wasn't in the business, but he knows what the fuck's
Yeah.
going on
For like
too.
Ty's
So.
fifth F-bomb of the night.
That's all right. We're explicit. Next up on the show was Bam Bam Bigelow and Axel Rotten. There was not really a whole lot here. So
The four asses was the greatest thing ever.
Axel hit Bam Bam with a couple of chair shots, and then Bigelow just moved out of the way.
On the back.
Yeah, and
Not on the head.
moved out of the way and hit the greetings from Asbury Park, and that was a quick win. I don't know if you guys have anything else you would have on this match.
No, just know your role.
Just know your role,
Yep.
right? I mean, Bam Bam's needing a big win. He's doing this program with Taz, obviously setting up something there, and it just wasn't Axel's time. So, just kind of that match.
Same way it wasn't Danny Doring's time.
Same.
It was.
It ain't always your time. Sometimes it's your time to be
It was
looking
the
up
four
at the
asses
lights.
time.
Next up on the show was the main event. Now, this was you want to
These
talk.
losers.
You want to talk about shtick and having fun out there? Was this 6-man tag? So you got the Dudley boys, and this is Bubba, Devon, and Big Dick Dudley, and they're squaring off against Tommy Dreamer, Spike Dudley, and yourself, Hack. This was so much fun to watch. I know I've talked about the fan can stuff. There's a lot of moments in this that are really that you're not going to get with a regular hard cam, where you're going down and you're reacting to live spots to the camera. You're having fun out there. You can see how much fun every single person in that building is having, and everybody in that ring is having. You had an amazing pre-match promo work by the Dudleys and Joel Gertner here. I mean, I don't know if anybody did that better. So they are getting the crowd so amped up. Devon starts by telling the crowd to shut the F up and promises to mess anyone up in the crowd who says anything. And that doesn't get the crowd quiet at all. I mean, they start going even more. And then Bubba takes the mic, and then, I mean, he's just getting them just completely out of their mind. What was it like when the Dudleys are doing this mic work, Hack?
Yeah, I've seen it worse than that in
So
Pittsburgh.
yeah, I've seen it worse than this, but this was.
Bubba was a fine-tuned machine at this point of working the audience. You know, picking a person out here, picking a person out here, you get intimate with certain people. You know what I mean? And that's where
It's real.
He came from.
Yeah, it's real. I mean,
You fat this, you ugly this. You know, he could create a riot.
Like whenever there's trash getting thrown into the ring, I think you've won as a heel. You know?
Well, and then when you say if you people throw another piece of trash in,
I'll come up there and kick your ass.
and then more rain,
And then a chair comes flying out of
chairs
nowhere.
come
What do
flying
you
out.
expect?
Dude, it's nuts in there. Like it's wild in there at that building at that point.
I can't believe there was ever a gun
Yeah,
pull.
he's getting mooned by fucking one on the floor, one in the balcony. Everybody's pulling their ass out.
How about the kid that was like threatening to jump out of the balcony too?
Oh, is that what
no.
everybody was looking
Yeah.
at?
And then he's like, yeah, you just would it, and then everyone's holding him back. He's like, would it help if I told you your mother was a $2 blowjob?
Yes.
yeah.
Would it help
And then
if I
he mooned
told
him.
you that big dick fucked your dad in prison?
Oh, Dick, if he got in the middle of the ring and went like that, the place would have lost their minds.
Well, the one guy jumped the guardrail, and then the security got him.
That's what that was.
So,
That was like a cut camera moment.
well,
I
it
think.
looked like a dude that guy looked like he was about to try to get in the ring, and I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, he wasn't a plant.
no, yeah, okay.
No, they would have done more if it was a plant.
Okay, yeah, they would have actually messed him up or like ripped his shirt off or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So that's kind of how I always interpreted those things. Like if it's a plant, the camera's going to go to it and they're going to mess
Right.
him up. And if it's a shoot, the camera's going to go away and they won't.
And honestly, the guy did better off.
They would've messed him up.
You know, our security was a bunch of badass dudes. There was a
Atlas
reason
security.
why
Ronnie.
there was a reason why those guys were our security. They probably beat the shit out of the dude and threw him out they probably kicked him because we're on the third floor. They probably kicked him down the stairs.
Poor kid.
All the way out the front door. Atlas, yeah, they were tough
You
dudes.
should have stayed home and watched Seinfeld, bud.
Well, heck, before we get into the match, I want to say, like, I don't know if you've ever had, like, first-hand experience with, like, Bubba and Devon and any of them, like, maybe either entering the arena or leaving the arena, like, not necessarily, like, scared that fans were going to do something, but have you ever, like, encountered, like, fans and, like, Bubba and them, like, getting into anything, like, going in or out?
No once.
Because I know,
I mean,
like,
dude,
dude, they were getting...
are you going to start with Bubba, Devon, and Big Dick leaving the
No.
building together?
No,
No, I'm just
300
saying, dude,
pounders,
but
350,
Yeah, you gotta be
400.
drunk.
No, but people are fucking stupid
Yeah.
and get beer
Yeah.
muscles.
If
I'm
you're
just
stupid
saying.
enough to fucking try and climb the railing, I think somebody's stupid enough to go at him at the end of the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't know if like you would ever experience any fan like waiting for somebody after the show or anything
No,
like
I think
that.
they were too scared.
I would be. I wouldn't mess with any of those guys. One thing that I thought was interesting, Hack, you were introduced as coming from out of Florida. I forgot that was
Tampa, Florida.
I forgot that was the case for you at certain points.
Yeah, well, as soon as we moved there, that's where I'm from.
No, I know, but usually I'm used to you being from
I was
Philadelphia.
from Sandy, Utah for a while.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
guess I
mean?
kind of remember that,
Utah.
but you
Yeah.
coming from Florida was like, when he said that, I was like, really? Oh, okay, yeah, I mean, you were living there, so I guess, but, yeah. You did a pre-match dance that can only be described as something you must have learned in your Chippendale
Post-match?
stage. No, pre-match, you were dancing too. You had your shirt up and everything. You were doing a little dance pre-match too.
They were saying show your tits.
Yes,
And,
you started
yeah,
yeah, you were pressing them out there. There was lots and lots of stalling, and then Hack.
It's not stalling.
It's
It's
working.
just having fun. It's
Okay.
like letting it breathe.
Yeah.
Let the audience feel what we're doing. You know
No.
what I mean? And when the time's right, somebody will know. Hey, the time's right. Let's go.
Yeah, no,
And it's not designated who's going to call it. It's just we all kind of know it. Like,
Okay.
somebody says the time's right. I've heard that before, and I'm like, no, not yet.
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
could see
not
you guys
yet.
were feeling
I need
it out
to do
there.
something else. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was the time was right.
And you, oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I didn't know if you were gonna go to the match or not,
No.
but I wanted to. Hack then gets on the mic and tells Bubba There's not a camera wide enough to get your fat ass
angle
to get your fat ass in the frame.
Yeah.
And the camera zooms in on Bubba, and you can see him holding in his laughter as hard as he possibly can.
That's the greatest thing ever.
You guys-
win so bad then when you do that and you get your guy to break character, you win.
Like, Bubba didn't react to the crowd, didn't react to it at all. He was solely focused on holding in his laugh. Like, if you guys go back and watch it, it's perfect.
I love that you guys have been like breaking each other's balls for like 30 years now. Like
For being fat.
For being fat.
Hack mentioned that while we're watching. He's like, we were calling him fat even then.
It's great. You can get the first fat joke out.
Yes.
Like Dreamer fed Beulah. She goes, I've had one beer. You actually look skinny.
Yeah, that was a great
Tommy
line.
popped you, so I know he fed her the line.
He did, and then you know what I love too, Hack, is you starting a huge LSD chant at one point, and it felt like it was something genuine. It came from your heart.
Well,
you were
it
like,
did.
you were like
have to
LSD.
Well, they were chanting LSD
For
for
Spike.
Spike.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Is that like his finisher? Is that
Little
like
Spike Dudley.
No, the acid drop.
okay.
The acid drop is his
LSD?
finisher.
Okay, yeah, because I was trying to coordinate how that was like.
He
Yeah,
was
but-
LSD for Little Spike Dudley, and he did the
Okay.
acid drop. And apparently, yes,
Nobody got that part of it.
yes, and he's apparently, he took a bad acid trip, and that's how he ended up like he did.
Well, I never had a bad acid trip.
Well, we'll
But
talk
when I
about
was
that in a later
When I was in
episode.
12th grade at Marple Newtown High School,
Yo.
Bromo, PA, I was selling Black Hawk acid the whole year. It was lovely.
All right.
Go Tigers!
Go Tigers.
Finally, there's no transition from that.
Oliver had tie with all three of these dudes went to the same high school too. It's funny.
Okay. So next up, Dreamer and Devon start the match for their respective teams, and then they just do some more stalling. I thought it was really awesome. They do like a sunset flip spot with Dreamer back.
A little close to the ropes.
Little close to the ropes.
In that small ring, you have to step up when you're doing a spot like that in a 16-foot bump ring. When you whip the guy in, you can't just stand there. You got to take a step forward because he's going over top of you. Then you both got to roll again. So that's why they ended up so close to the ropes. But
Okay.
Yeah, just something you have to be aware of.
Yeah, and then Spike came in the ring with Bubba. For those,
Just say it.
He's giving Hack a big okay sign, and it popped us all. So that's for if you guys are wondering why Hack's dying laughing.
Great input.
Great. No, it's great. We need that technical. Listen, this is an expert in the match.
We'll be on
review.
camera soon.
Oh, wait,
We'll
did we
be on
talk
camera
about
soon.
Tommy getting jiggy with it in the beginning when he was dancing before he poured the beer down Buell's...
We did not.
Oh no! During your entrance, he got up on the apron and he's jigging it up.
I was, that one...
He
Yeah,
pours the beer on Beulah's chest, and then Spike licks
Spike
it up.
sucking on the teat.
The LSD teat.
In the match, Spike charged Bubba, but he got shoved down, and then Bubba hits a
Yeah, that
Bubba
was
bomb.
horrible.
There was a
Let's get to
backdrop.
my spots.
Okay, let's get to your spots.
Dude, they had to alert air traffic control at LaGuardia Airport and JFK because I got so high up on this luchador spot that me and Big Dick did.
Okay, so Big Dick Dudley gets tagged
They
in.
did.
Okay, all
I
right.
remember Paulie getting on the phone talking to the guy in the tower.
And Tosh, before like this whole thing even starts, Hack's like, me and Big Dick are definitely married in this match.
Oh yeah, you could tell.
I know. I don't remember. It was
He didn't remember a single thing, but he goes, me and Big Dick are definitely married in this
Who
match.
else would you have worked? You know what I mean?
I was watching it for the first time, though. That's what's so funny about it. I don't remember one single thing.
I like how you guys did like a stare down too, like it's Ultimate Warrior Hogan or something. to start too.
Dick's like there. All he did was growl. It's hilarious.
So
Don't forget the ground, Dick.
he shoved you like really hard into the ropes,
Pussy.
and then hit a shoulder block on you, and then You flipped out of a back suplex, knocked him down with a clothesline, and then he gave you another clothesline, and then a powerbomb attempt from him that you punched your way out, and you knocked Big Dick on his back for a 2 count, and then you clotheslined him over the top rope, and then it just
No,
bleeds.
you missed this. Where's the go behind spot?
No, you already mentioned
how
that.
did he
You
just
mentioned
whoop
that.
it?
That's where Hack.
Wait,
Okay, all right.
slow down. And
all right.
Take us from the me going like 15 feet in the air,
Hack's talking about the
landing on
air
my
traffic.
feet, doing a pirouette.
The air traffic control where Big Dick threw him over his head, which Hack didn't land on his feet.
Yeah, I
tried
did.
to.
No, I was on my foot. I was like this.
No, you didn't land the dismount. There was a dismount and a stumble.
No, I was only minus like a half a point.
I would say like a
no,
7-4.
that's a 6.
The
Six.
Russian, the
I'll give him a
Russian
7-4.
judge is giving you like a
got killed.
6.2.
I hate those Russian judges.
And then everything just bleeds to the outside. I thought this was like fun brawl and just was like a 6-man ECW match from here.
Yeah, 2 guys go in the ring. They're doing something while we're playing around on the
Well,
outside.
everybody got there. Everybody got. It was started with Tommy, then Spike got it, and then you got it, and then it was like somebody hit somebody after that.
And then it's just brawling around the ringside. Bubba and Devon got thrown.
And then it's knowing your spot when to come back in and know your spot.
Yeah, and then it was just wild. Dreamer and Bubba were in there, and Dreamer got a pinfall attempt after a slingshot splash.
Oh, dude, Dreamer.
Yeah.
Dreamer went over. I said to Ty, I was like, did Dreamer just go over the top rope right there?
Yeah, I was like, what? Him doing his, I didn't know that was in his repertoire.
Yeah,
of
the
moves.
slingshot splash.
I mean, yeah, I would say like
I've
slingshot
seen him do it a
splash.
couple of times.
I couldn't
on,
remember.
I
Dreamer
texted
doing
him. He hasn't got back to me yet. I can't wait to hear his response.
I mean, I can count it on one hand how many times I've seen him,
on half a hand.
but I have seen him. I have seen him do it before.
He
He has not always been
The
an
dude
oaf,
could not
though.
dribble a basketball. He could not play football.
He was
He's
in
not
good
an
shape
athlete
here,
at
though.
all.
I mean, he wasn't Dreamer of today at this point. You know, he was.
He was horrible even when he was young.
He was
Oh.
half a dreamer.
He was. Yeah. He was That's funny, man.
We love you, Tommy.
We love you, Tommy. Friend of the show,
Loser.
Tommy Dreamer. There was a lot of stuff in this match. Spike jumped up to the top at one point. He was waiting in Devon's arms, and then he just power slammed Spike so hard. I thought that was a really good spot.
Same.
The two were rolling out, and then it was you and Big Dick again. And then Big Dick goes up to the top rope, and you caught him and then got him in the
I wanted
tree
him
of
to
woe.
moonsault. I wanted him to moonsault me because I know he can do it, and he's done it before. Did you know that?
No, Big Dick can do a
Big Dick,
moonsault.
yeah.
I didn't
Big-
know.
Big
I had
Dick.
the same reaction
Big
that
Dick
you
can do a
had.
moonsault.
Did he ever do it in ECW?
Yeah, because that's the only reason why I knew he could do it. He must have
Dude,
done
he
it on
was
a
going
house
to the
show or
top.
something.
He was going to the top rope, and I was like,
He looked
moonsault.
pretty cool up there on the top rope when he was going up there, but I never seen him do that. No,
Yeah,
that
I would have
can remember.
rather seen him hit it. Well, we were setting up the 4-way tree of woe right there.
Okay, yeah. So you set up the tree of woe. They're all baseball sliding into the chairs, which is just a great spot. I mean, that's
It's
like,
a feel-good spot.
it is, and it's like that's vintage Tommy Dreamer. You know, a big tree of woe guy seems like a lot in his
And
matches.
then Gertner, perfect time.
Gertner and then Sign Guy also get tied up in Tree of Woe, and then Dreamer, Spike, Beulah, everybody's baseball slide in, and then Gertner goes in, and they do this spot with Gertner and Beulah, and Gertner sells this so good.
Dude, the flare strut across the
flare
ring, like,
strut
oh my
as he's
god.
coming out and everything, and then Gertner, like I thought he did such like a good like pussy sell, you
Yeah,
know?
he's fucking
Like,
great.
Gertner is awesome, and
When he
then,
flails his hands
Yeah.
like he's a Tyrannosaurus Rex,
Yeah.
but he's like a baby
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's
Yes,
hilarious.
Yes, and then they tie up, and then Gertner plants like a real big kiss on Beulah, and then he puts her in like a bear hug. I thought that was really.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
I didn't know what was going on with
And
that.
then I guess she raked his eyes. She slapped him somewhere.
She gave him like a low blow, I think.
yeah,
or
that
something
was
like
in there
that.
before the
She
DDT.
raked the eyes, did the low blow, and did the DDT.
Yeah, and then you and Dreamer come in, and it looks like you guys are going to get the Dudleys, or no, you're going to get Gertner, but then the Dudleys come in, and then Spike jumps off the top, only to get caught by Big Dick. And then there's the finish with total penetration. And then the Dudley boys pile on.
Wait, and Beulah wasn't involved in that?
Yeah, yo. And that was the 3 count for the finish. I thought this match was like tremendous fun and shtick. definitely, we're going to throw up the link on our social, guys. You guys got to watch this show. And this match was just like pure fun as it's going on. But
yeah, a little different, a little hard watching on the fan cam, but if you can get through it, it's worth it.
It really is.
At least watch Hack's match.
Yeah, at least watch Hack's match. Definitely do.
Excuse me, sorry.
So post-match, Bubba hits you with your own cane, and that's kind of like woke you up. And then New Jack comes out. New Jack coming out, Natural Born Killers is playing. The crowd is going nuts at this point, and he's got just a trash can full of weapons. And then every Dudley just takes a beating at this point. Tons of weapons. They
Know your role, feed.
Know your role and feed. They had my favorite one was like a doll that had like a wooden stick in it.
It
or
looked
something.
like,
That
it
was
looked like the
just a
gingerbread man or something.
I
Was
thought
it a
it was in
gingerbread man?
Halloween when you put out those like little scarecrows
Yeah,
on
it looked like a gingerbread man.
Okay,
Like
alright.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool spot. They cleared the ring, and then Gertner. I don't know why, obviously, anybody would do this, but he challenged New Jack, and then
Oh, you know Gertner's taking the guitar
have
shot
to, right?
when he comes out like...
you have to if you're Joel Gertner, and then you grab him from behind. New Jack hits him with the guitar. It wasn't the best guitar shot, but the crowd still went nuts. And then it was just a really, really fun time in the ring with you guys celebrating in the ring,
Dude,
dancing.
dancing.
You dancing after this. We got to get a clip of
I
this
was
to put up on
having
our
fun.
social. You were
I
having...
was having so
I know,
much
dude,
fun
we gotta
out
like
there.
screen record it
Oh,
or
we
something.
will. We'll get
Yeah.
this thrown up on our social. Hack dancing post-match here was just an
Him
awesome...
and Jack.
Him
Oh
and
my
New
God.
Jack.
R.I.P.
Awesome.
Jack.
R.I.P. New Jack. Seriously, this match was a ton of fun.
Jack.
If you love ECW and you've never seen this show, please go out of your way, watch this show. It wasn't the greatest wrestling show in the world, but like I absolutely love this. So
It's just a different viewpoint when you don't have Joey Styles in your ear, and it's a lot of it's literally you're in the front. The person videotaping it is inside the guardrails. The guardrails are 5 feet away from the ring, so it's like a viewpoint of you being right there at ringside the whole night.
no, it was awesome. I had so much fun watching the show. Before we get to our favorite segment of the week, which is our listener question segment, we do have a couple announcements to make. We have a great event coming up if you're in the tri-state area at the
Yay.
ECW Arena on June 8th. One night stand, our boy Jay Rhymes. We're going to be doing a little bit of a live pod at 7 p.m. for those in attendance. Tickets are $20 to get in. There's going to be live performances by our boy Jay Rhymes and so many other local rappers. These guys are a lot of dope rappers, so always a great time at the ECW Arena. We can't wait to see you on June 8th, and I can't wait to do the show in front of you guys and meet some of our fans out there as well.
Yeah, come out and support everything that's going on. We're going to be out there. I think Todd Gordon's going to be hosting. Blue Meanie may or well not be there, but we're going to be doing some fun stuff. You got any fan questions, meet and greet,
fun,
stuff like
everything.
that?
Hack, who's your favorite rapper? I got to ask you.
I don't know. I guess Lil Wayne.
Oh, Wheezy F Baby?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it
All
would
right.
have to be Wayne.
Okay.
Wouldn't it, Ty?
Hack's favorite rapper is anything that we've presented him
So
with.
you guys put him on like that, the Drought 3, Dedication 2 kind of stuff? And
Yeah, he
what
said-
you just said.
Carter 2?
Those
Carter
are
3?
his,
Oh, the
those
Carters,
are,
yeah.
those
you're
are
a big
his
Carter guy.
albums, Hack.
Yeah, but I'm not. But is Bruno's not a rapper, is he?
No, Bruno Mars. No, he's
No,
not
he's
Bruno.
more like a
Bruno's
pop-
the man.
like a pop star.
I like Bruno more than anybody.
Okay,
I'm
so
begging him to come out with a new song.
all right, so June 8th, you guys gotta be there, and we also have another announcement coming up soon regarding our first piece of merch. So I know you guys have all been asking us, how can you support the show?
Merch.
When this shirt drops, make sure you're saving some money. Make sure you buy one for your significant other, your side chick, your guma, whoever in your life. They're going to need this Sandman podcast shirt. Okay? So put some money aside, all right?
Cocaine?
All right? No, put
Christmas is coming up way sooner than you think.
This shirt, when we drop this shirt, I mean, seriously, this thing's going to move. So just look, I'm just letting you know right now. Just letting you know
We're
right
only
now.
printing 5, so you better get on.
Limited
Just
edition.
saying.
Yeah, and Kevin and Dayton gets one.
He gets one.
So
So
we're down
there's
to
only
4.
four.
How about
Chris from Vancouver gets one.
Yeah, so
We're
there's
down to
only
three.
How about
Uncle Marty.
Uncle Marty.
so there's only two.
What about
How about the guy-
Drummy?
How
What
about the
Drummy?
guy who's been in the bar
Drummy.
for 4.5
Drummy's
weeks?
Tavern.
Yeah, Drummy's Tavern.
There's
So
only
there's
one
really
shirt.
only one shirt left.
It's a very it's as limited edition as that Wu-Tang album. All right, so just make sure you. Yeah, you
Cash
know
rolls everything around.
Yeah. All right.
We're putting it up for auction, I guess.
Yeah. So
apparently.
all right. Now we're having a shirt. When you guys see who we're working with on this shirt, if you guys are in the Philly area, you guys are going to lose your shit. So I'm just letting you know that right now. This shirt's going to be big. Next up, though, I have to talk about something that's coming out. If you have WWE 2K24, please download the ECW Punk Pack.
I
That
look
is
like
Punk-
a Chinaman.
Stop, Hack. I thought you looked great, man. I told you, Hack.
I do.
I told you, Hack, you look great, man. I think,
You look buzzed.
yo, you do look a little
like you're off the
inebriated.
head.
You're off something at that
And
point.
everyone who's buzzed kind of
And
looks like.
I'll tell you this, for all you gamers out there, I know we have a ton of fans out there that are gamers. Send us in your videos of Hack wrestling in WWE
Yeah, absolutely.
2K. We need to
Dude,
watch
I was
these
never
videos.
drunk for any match ever in that company.
That's a shame. No wonder you sucked.
Yeah, no wonder you were working with. No wonder you were working with the zombies.
Yeah, send us your videos of send us your
Libre.
Gotta bury you back.
send
man.
us your videos of Hack getting pinned, and we'll retweet them.
I gotta bury you back. I gotta bury you back.
There's 500 of them easily.
Lastly, here with announcements, so many people have asked us, and I've been meaning to hit this over the last few weeks. I want to make sure I say thank you to the incredible art that Chris Bryan did for our podcast cover art. This guy's artwork is absolutely tremendous. So if you haven't had a chance to check him out, please do so over at Chris Things on Twitter and IG. Please check out his awesome podcast as well. He has a Match of the Week series that really highlights a lot of different and unique pro wrestling out there. And if you haven't yet, please grab yourself a copy of the Way of the Blade book. That was illustrated by Chris and written by the legendary Phil Schneider of Death Valley Driver Video Review. This was an awesome book. Hack still has my copy over there. Hasn't read it yet, but I'm going to make sure he
Dude,
does.
the artwork he did for our podcast logo was insane. Like when he showed that to
No,
that
we
was
didn't give him
impressive
any
as heck.
reference.
Any-
That was all him. All came up with himself, and we couldn't have been happier with it.
Well, he just texted me. He said you could also see him in the Louvre in France. And you can also catch him at the Guggenheim in New York, some of his pieces, and also the Guggenheim in Germany.
Wow, there you go. Chris Bryan.
Guggenheim Chris.
Want to say
All right.
shouts out to you, man. So here we are finally. This is
That
our...
was me trying to put myself over knowing where a museum is. Just so you know.
Yeah. We'll
know
never
you're
put you over.
Yeah, you're smart.
So I
yeah.
might have been wrong.
Yeah, you read a book. Great.
Listener questions, as
Mail
always,
time.
send them in to sandmanpod@gmail.com. We will get them on the show. We've been getting bombarded, so if I haven't got your question yet, I do apologize.
We'll get
We
to
haven't
it.
got to it. You're a loser.
We will get to it. Pat writes in, "Hey Sandman."
Hi, Pat. Sounds like somebody new.
Yeah, he's new. "Hey Sandman and other dudes. Been a huge Sandman."
Other dudes.
That's what he
That's
called
who
it.
these
Oh,
two
yeah.
are.
Oh,
You
so-
three are other
Minions.
dudes.
Oh, all right, Pat.
I'm getting a T-shirt. What's this guy's name?
Pat.
Oh, Pat. I'm getting a T-shirt. I'm with these other dudes.
No,
These
fuck
other dudes.
Pat,
Pat,
I'm
you-
a fucking other dude.
Pat, you gotta bury other people, man. You gotta put us over, dude. We are all main eventers here, all right? Hey, Sandman and other dudes. Been a huge Sandman fan since I was a kid. I know there's been times New Jack and Sandman talked about getting into rough areas of cities, trying to score drugs. Does Sandman have a New Jack story that stands out with him, and Sandman going on some crazy run?
Oh,
Thanks.
there's a couple of them. We would go to.
Tell the one of him kicking the door in.
All right, that was. I could have go. There's like 4 or 5 of them that I could
Your
choose
best
from.
one. Your best.
All right, the one time we're in Detroit. I'm pretty sure we're in Detroit, but we can't even hack check this one. But me and New Jack were going, and I would always. This was back in the day before 9/11. Nobody worried about traveling. Your Coke was in your front right pocket. The pot was in your front left pocket.
That was standard.
Yeah, snot rag back right pocket, passport back left pocket. That's just how we
If
roll.
anybody knew anything, that's how you go.
And makeup kit in the fanny pack.
So, yeah. So we didn't have any drugs with us. So we got to rent a car. We're going out, and then you just know the neighborhoods. Me and him could smell them because we've been in a million of them. So we stop on this street. New Jack's like, yo, dude, you got some drugs? Yeah. New Jack makes the deal with the guy. We're sitting there. I'm ready to pull away. Jack's like, no, do not pull away. Stay here. I'm like, all right. So Jack watches he goes, I want to see what door that guy goes in. Then he opens up the Coke. He goes, this ain't fucking Coke. I'm like, Jack, let's just go up the street. We'll buy it for somebody else. He goes, no, I'm going to teach this guy a lesson. So I'm on a one-way street here at this point. I turn the car around because the guy walked behind us like maybe 30 yards. I probably should have just backed up, but I end up turning the car around, and I'm facing the wrong way in the hood on a one-way street. Jack knocking on the door, no answer. He kicks the door, he grabs the guy, beats the shit out of him on the guy's porch, because you had to go up. There was like 14 steps to go up to the front porch. Jack grabs the guy, throws him down like 10 of the steps. He's laying on the front lawn, picks him up, and he starts yelling to all the drug dealers down the corner. He goes, this guy's selling bullshit on your corner. Why am I doing your job beating the shit out of this guy for him? He's like, all right, let's roll.
That's fucked
And
up.
we got
Right.
more drugs somewhere else.
All right, Pat. I hope you got
Yeah,
this.
Jack's like, why am I doing this guy's? Because those guys would be pissed.
That's like something out of a movie.
Yeah, if you got a drug
but
corner,
selling
you don't want
stepped on
guys
shit on somebody's corner.
straight bullshit the
Yeah.
guy's selling.
Yeah.
So New Jack's yelling at all. It was
Jesus
hilarious.
Christ. All right.
All right, Pat. We'll ask for another New Jack story next week. We'll get the other one.
Yeah, Pat. You got to put us over, though. I'm not putting your question on if you don't put us over.
Yeah,
We're
unless-
not
Yeah,
other
you're
guys.
bumping down to the line a little
Yeah,
bit.
sorry, dude. Sorry, Pat.
Oh, Hilo Del Hack and Resident Hack Checker and BWT Brian
Yeah.
W. Toss.
Yeah, you better put us over, motherfucker. Next up is Ramon from Juliet, Illinois, writes in,
Ramon.
what's up, guys? Love the podcast. As soon as I heard Sandman was doing one, finally, I had to get locked in.
Thanks, Ramon.
Thank you, Ramon. My question is about ECW and AAA, that they ran a show back in Chicago back in the day. What memories do you have of that event, and what did you think of the Chicago crowd? Hopefully you dug the food if you remembered any of it. Haha. I'm also hoping I can get a birthday shout out. My birthday was at the end of April. Thanks, guys, and keep the dope content coming. Well, happy belated to you, Ramon.
Happy
from all
birthday,
of us
Ramon.
here.
Boo, Ash, you're late. I'll give you a birthday next year when he calls back. Chicago was always a great crowd. It wasn't like Philly or New York. It was a little bit different because you're a little bit more Midwest, and they're not so rabid like the East Coast is. But I don't remember the show that you're actually talking about.
Okay, I know Lucha Libre, AAA, and ECW kind of had like a mixed event back in, I think, 94, 95 in Chicago.
So Rey Mysterio would have been.
He was on that card,
He
yeah,
would have
for
been
sure.
on the card. Right?
Conan, all those
Who
AAA
knows?
guys.
I could have worked with Conan a bunch of
makes
times.
sense.
We'll have to pull the card and see if you were on it. I'm not sure if you're on the show, but I know AAA was trying
Give us
to...
more information next time. Try and jog my memory if you call me about a certain show. Say, hey, I worked with somebody and
AAA
that
was-
might get
Or if you have information on the show, tweet at us or send it to us on Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I know AAA was trying to get into America at that time. They had the When Worlds Collide pay-per-view event in '95. I'm not sure if this was before that or after that, but I know that they were trying to make inroads into America at that point. But I'm not aware of like the specifics of this card. But we'll have to take a look into that. Ryan from Ohio writes in. There was a WCW Nitro, and there was a spot on the show right at the beginning where you came out to the ring smoking a cigarette. And you had Eric Bischoff and the other producers, and I think J.J. Dillon. I was at this show with my dad and brother. My question is, was this spot a work or a shoot? Did you legitimately get in trouble for smoking a cigarette on national TV?
No, it was a work, and I don't. was I in the ring with these guys?
Yes.
I was
I
going to
think I
say.
blew
is it-
smoke at somebody's
I
face.
don't
That's what I was going to
Bischoff.
say. Yeah, you blew smoke
Bischoff.
in Bischoff's face, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And do you remember how that like angle came about? Like, were they saying like, "Yo, we're gonna say you're like," because you came out as like a renegade. Nobody knew your name or anything like that. You came out and they were like
they
trying
want
to.
call me the Sandman.
Yeah,
or
they were
whatever.
trying to like censor you. Do you remember that angle at all? Like,
Okay.
No, but that's just putting me over. I mean, you're happy. I mean, it's a 3-hour show back then. You're just happy to be on it, really, because there's a lot of sharks in the water up
And
there
you're
at that
Bischoff.
point. Yeah,
You know, it's a
and I'm getting. They put me in Bigelow in a prime spot.
But you're getting one-on-one with Bischoff, so that's got to be a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah. No? Okay. Next up, Brian Mills. You didn't leave a town. You got to leave a town for us, too. We need a town and a state, Brian.
Maybe he wants to be
we
on
want to
there.
know where you guys are at.
Yeah, we want to know where you guys are at. Hello, Sandman and pals. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Just wanted to get each member of the gang's personal wrestling Mount Rushmore, as in the 4 guys you've loved watching the most over the years. Thanks, guys. Love the show, and Tosh in particular. Man, that's a
Great idea for an episode, kid.
We're gonna have to save
We'll
that
name
for
the
future.
episode after him.
We'll name it after you, Brian. We'll have to think about this.
Brian
one.
from nowhere.
Brian from nowhere.
Yeah, Tosh, make sure you save that.
That's actually the Brian. Good job.
Yeah.
man.
We'll
make that an
That's actually a
episode.
great
We will,
idea.
Brian. We're gonna have to blow this out and do a whole episode on our personal favorite Mount Rushmore. But
Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of homework.
we
done
got
on
it.
that.
We can't just do that in a listener question. It's such a great question.
I could've-
Ty's gonna go with his 4. Don't say it yet.
No,
Brian.
I'm not going
All right.
to, but
All right.
that was great.
That's a great question. We're gonna have to
Brian's
get
on the
back to
run. Are you a fugitive, Brian? Or are you on the
Yeah,
run?
dude.
You're not
Why
trying to know your
why are you trying to go
whereabouts?
incognito, man? It's cool, dude. You could have a fake name. All right, whatever. Next up, John from Earth, PA. Hey, Hack, love the show. That boy Tosh is a natural, and props to the seeds of Hack.
Tosh, put this over, baby.
I swear I didn't make this up. These are real emails, man.
Wow,
I'm not making this up.
sounds awful made up.
I lived
How
in,
much
hold
was
on.
the check that Tosh wrote you?
Send him a little bit of a Venmo. I live,
Check the Venmo history.
I live in Scranton,
There you
PA, and was wondering if you have any memories of the shows you guys did at CYC in Scranton, legendary old WWF building, or the Armory in Kingston.
CYO was the time when me and Shane got in a fight in the locker room.
We talked about that 2
Terry
episodes
Funk
ago,
was
yes.
in between us. That's my biggest memory of that.
Okay. He also included quick story from the post CYC show. We were leaving post main event and we crossed paths with an angry, bloody Hack. I tried to be wallpaper, but my buddy stood there and you stiff armed him right into the wall. It was great. Much love.
That
out
doesn't
of my
sound
way,
like
kid.
me at all.
Yeah, you're a nice guy. I don't
That's
believe
way
that.
out of character for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was being a real mark. I don't know. All right, here we go. This is one of our favorite listener questions, as always. Buckle up. Uncle Howard writes in.
Howard!
Que pasa, mi amigos? It's Uncle Howard once again, partying with Bret Michaels on Rock of Love tour bus. Hack.
Brett Mo-
That's what he said. I don't know. Hold on. Here we go. He's already laughing. Here we go. I think this might be your favorite question you ever get to.
Howie?
El Howie? I don't know. Here we
I
go.
know who Brett Michaels
I know.
is, believe it or not.
Okay, he's partying with Bret Michaels. Hack, UFOs and aliens have been getting a lot of attention lately with congressional hearings and
It's about
Pentagon
time.
whistleblowers. Do you think there's something to it, or it's just the government finding excuses to move money around? Have you ever seen anything that you can't explain when it comes to UFOs?
Yeah, I thought the whole reason why I started believing him was because I saw one when I was a kid. So yeah, and Oliver believes in him too. Ty's all like, you don't know, but me and Oliver are all over
Well,
the
Ty's
UFOs.
just not into it, but me and you were like all into like,
They're
the
here.
same kind
They've
of
been
shit.
here for thousands of years, literally thousands of years.
Well, I've never once said that I don't believe in them. I just don't do the research that you and Oliver do in them.
'Cause you're a loser.
Well, no, because I don't care, because they're never going to be upfront property until somebody says anything about it.
Hack, have you ever had the chance to look into the Malaysian flight MH370 theories when it comes to UFOs and stuff like that?
Yeah,
There's some
but
good
they
stuff there.
hijacked all the people, and then they
there's-
supposedly 6 months ago found a piece of the plane on an island somewhere. Nobody knows
But
what
you
happened.
believe
to
in
that.
UFOs, just for the
Yeah, but I
record.
don't think UFOs had anything to do with that.
Okay.
I think that was the captain of the ship.
Okay, but back to the UFOs. You are a UFO believer.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Josh, can you
It's facts.
Can you
Okay.
reread that question for a second? Because I had a question for Hack that triggered in my head and I lost it. Can you reread that?
Do you think there's something to it, or it's just the government finding excuses to move money around?
Before that.
UFO has been getting a lot of attention lately with congressional hearings and Pentagon whistleblowers. It's probably talking about the guy that was on 60 Minutes a couple
David
months ago.
Grohl.
All the guys with the tic tac.
Yeah.
All
Nah,
the tic
I
tac.
lost
Yes.
it. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't.
No.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
sorry.
Hey,
I
we,
lost it.
Boo, hiss,
Yeah,
boo, hiss.
let it rain on me.
All right, here we go. Andrew Kranick from the Pleasure Dome in the Poconos writes in.
Pleasure.
I'm gonna go there.
That's where he's writing in from.
The address.
All right, writing in. Big fan of the show. Hack, you spoke at Worrell Elementary back in 1998 to the School for Career Day. Any memories of this? Jeez.
Kind of tied. Was that? You went to Worrell.
Yeah, but
that wouldn't have been 1998, and I never went to
You
Worrell.
were born in 98, weren't you?
Yeah.
Why?
It had to have been Loomis. It would have been Culbertson
He
or
said
Loomis
Worrell.
Elementary.
He said Worrell. Why
Well,
would a school have you speak to children?
Because they're clueless putzes like Stevie Richards.
Well, I remember.
What are you saying to kids? Hey, don't do this. Is that what
Well, no, it's fair. The one guy's a lawyer, the one guy's a doctor. You know what I'm saying?
No,
There's like a cigarette and a
I
beer.
remember
You paying the teacher and the principal.
I remember being in school, and it was like Dr. Seuss Day, or it was like Read Across America Day.
Dude,
And
they killed me.
Dude, we have a picture
That was
of
in
that.
Loomis. They gave
We
me
have
the
a-
Get the
tongue
picture.
twisting.
We have a
book there
picture
ever
of
was.
Hack reading a Dr. Seuss book to Tyler's class.
To school children.
Yeah,
we need
Yeah,
that.
and of course, my dad is the quote unquote famous dad. Oh, let's bring in the Sandman to read a Dr.
This
Seuss
book
book.
was such a tongue
Hack's
twister. I
coming.
killed it though.
You
Hack's
buried it?
Yeah.
He's
okay.
coming in with an eye ring. His forehead's gashing blood. He's got like tattoos out there. Yeah, like,
not
hey,
Want an ice cream cone? Follow me out to my car.
I'm
No,
here
I-
for Dr. Seuss Day.
You
out of
are
all
good with
things.
kids, man. I saw you at the convention and stuff, man. You're really awesome with kids.
Dude,
Scott,
he used to
seriously.
show up. He used to, whenever he was home and in town, he used to show up and he would come to recess and he would be steady quarterback for us playing football in recess. Now, not to mention, he would show up, like I said, the eye ring, the like whatever, and somehow
Just
they,
looking like a badass.
somehow they let him on school grounds. And he,
Security was totally different back in them days.
and he would show up with a T-shirt that said
Live nudes.
Blood, sweat, beers. Blood, sweat, beers.
No, he would show up with a T-shirt that was like, fuck society, fuck beef, fuck this, fuck that. It must have had fuck on his T-shirt 150
Never
times.
remember that ever.
And they let him on there, and he was just playing steady quarterback. And I swear to God, the teachers, I don't know what they were doing to us, but this was the 90s, kids. You would never
Dude,
imagine things
any
of that.
teacher was way too scared to probably say anything to Hack, so they were like, fuck it, let's just let
There
it
was
go.
no security at the school.
Dude,
I mean,
I
not even
remember-
a rent-a-cop.
Well, I remember Kelly getting in trouble the one time she ever got in trouble in her life. My older sister, they brought her in. They were like,
Loser.
we're gonna need to bring your parent in. Hack comes in. And they go, there's no way this is your parent. There's no, like, 'cause she was like straight A's, like such a saint, like everything.
They wanted her bumper 2 years.
Something
They
or whatever.
wanted
And they,
the
were,
bumper 2 years in Utah.
and they were like, there's no way that Hack comes in,
Nope,
like blood
not
gushing out of his forehead.
Totally not
Like,
happening.
Not
Kelly,
happening.
there's no way.
She was too young.
All right, that was an interesting question. So thank you, Andrew, from that. Hope you're having fun at the Pleasure Dome. Next up, Mikey from Sligo Island in Ireland. Being from Ireland, we're proud of our Irish wrestlers. Nowadays, we have many to pick from, but back in the day, Fit Finlay was my favorite. How did you and Fit get along inside and outside of the ring?
I only had one match with them on WCW.
The Junkyard match, which we're going to
No,
get
not
into.
that one. That was
Singles?
I don't know. They wanted us to get 20 minutes or something. Me and Fit, and but I totally respected him. He's the only guy I knew that could do a half-hour match and bump once at the end.
Him and William Regal, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, work a finger for a half hour, literally a finger.
Okay, and how about him as like an agent in WWE?
I never had him as an agent, but
He wasn't your agent?
He was more. He would train the girls.
He was a big Divas
Yeah.
trainer back then. Yeah, big agent. He got them getting their work rate really up back in that time period. So, okay, interesting. Tom Ball from Tom Ball, Texas. Okay, interesting.
I got in Texas, huh?
Named after your town?
Hey guys, my name's Tom Ball. I used to live in Broomall, PA. First time, long time, great show. You got great show going on. Hack, question for you, my man. Pepsi or Coke? And have you ever had a Days soda? It's a Philly brand that's taking the nation by storm. It's for the best and blows the big names out of the water. You got to try it. Nothing like a Days cream soda.
Wow.
Also, give the pineapple a try.
Is this an advertisement?
Seriously, Tom, what are you doing, dude? Do you like work for Days Soda? Did you
Now
marry?
he owns it, apparently.
Did you
with what he
marry?
just said.
Did you marry the daughter of the Days Soda
All
company
right,
or something?
put over Days
Do you
Soda.
like-
for
let's
30
go.
seconds.
I don't
Let's get
drink
us our
soda.
first
You don't drink
sponsor.
soda? No sodas?
I drink water, milk, and alcohol. That's it.
All right, so Tom, sorry, dude, we're not drinking Days Soda. I've had it before. It's pretty good soda, I guess.
You're
you
gonna
know?
have to give us a check before we put that up.
Yeah,
Really?
we're gonna have some future sponsors.
Contact us
Yeah,
on
for future sponsorship.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram,
We'll get
sandmanpod@gmail.com.
What is it, Hack?
We would love for you to let's
Me
see.
at Instagram.
Yeah, okay. All right. Good try.
Yeah, Instagram.
Me at Instagram.
That's the best we can get out of them. Okay.
I am horrible.
It's okay. We got it covered for you, bud. And last up, as always, our boy, Kevin from Dayton, Ohio. Kevin. Hack, you got a great eye for the business. With Cody Rhodes going from a lower mid-card career to a huge business as champion, who is one guy or girl, either in AEW or WWE, that you see coming up out of nowhere to be a top guy or girl in the business one day?
Well, my one was Swerve.
Okay.
And the other,
Yeah, but
my
he didn't really
newest
come from nowhere.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's
Like
more
mid-
like who do you
mid-card.
see right now coming out of nowhere? That like,
Like Stratton, it wouldn't be out of nowhere, would
Okay,
she?
no. I'm thinking like mid-card. If you have anybody in like the
I
mid...
like Andrade or Escobar.
Okay, so those would be your picks for like
Yeah.
future
I think
stars.
Escobar's a good pick.
Okay, interesting. And that's it for listener questions.
No, wait a minute.
What?
I gotta. You guys gotta hear this message that was left on my phone this
A
week.
message got left on your phone?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me get
All
my
right.
act together here.
No.
I want to play this for you because this is very significant.
You're a goddamn Chippendale. You're a Chippendale dancer. You're a Chippendale from Disney World. You're a Chip. You're a Dale. You're a Rescue Ranger. You're a goddamn hack. You're a hack. You're a Sandman. Goddamn it, Disney World. Well, all right. How you doing, hack?
Just saying, that was left on my phone. That was left as a text message less than 48 hours ago.
After Dark Side of the Ring from...
Oh yeah.
It sounds
Forgot
like
about
Terry to me.
was that Terry Funk texting you?
That was the Funker?
Well, of course, it sounded like the Funker, but I don't know. Somebody might be ribbing me.
Well, if anything, if we know anything, that voicemails are taking a little bit of a long time to get through to people nowadays. So.
Just ask Hogan.
Piper and Hogan, yeah. This is the new Piper and Hogan. Wow. Oh, man, that is incredible. That is incredible. Wow. I'm kind of blown away here now. So, as always, if you have any questions for us, send them into sandmanpod@gmail.com.
Terry, if you're listening to the show, which maybe you are, please get a hold of us again. We'd love to hear from you.
Next week's topic, because you guys have been asking, we have ECW Tag Team Mount Rushmore. But before we do, the Cane of the Week and the Toast of the Week.
The toasted. All right, let's do the cake. All right, let's do the cake of the week first. Goes to whoever decided that Jade Cargill was ready to do anything more than like a 4 or 5 move hot tag.
Okay.
That's absolutely ridiculous, and they deserve it. And for me, having to be diverted in my lucha libre spot with Big Dick Dudley.
Okay, you're giving yourself the Toast of the Week this week.
Dude,
All right.
wait till you see that spot?
No, it was a great...
Nobody's ever seen me cat like that before.
we gave you a 7.6. Okay. Give us a follow, Sandman Pod on Twitter and The Sandman Podcast on Instagram. A like, share, review. We will catch you next week for ECW Tag Team Mount Rushmore.
Peace.
Ain't it foggy outside?